What it do, babies? Credit Solutionist here. Ashley Victoria Langford, owner of PX Credit Solutions and mycreditcall.com. I was not going to go live today, but I decided to go ahead and go live because I made a promise to myself this week that I was going to come to you guys live and in color. A lot of you are driving home right now from jobs that you absolutely hate. So, in today's Friday Fiesta, we're going to be talking about how to overcome your fears and many of. Oh, hang on, y'all. I got to turn this volume down. But yeah, a lot of y'all are driving home right now from jobs that you absolutely hate. And I understand that feeling. I know what it feels like to be in gridlock traffic, driving from a place you didn't want to go to this morning to begin with. I wish I had come to you guys earlier with some inspiration this morning, but I had stuff to do. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do the countdown right now. I'm going to pull up my little outline and we're going to get started. The couple of y'all that are here right now, I appreciate you. If you can hang on for a little bit, we'll be right back with you. All right, guys. We gotta run the timer because your girl got to get ready. All right. Love you guys. Hang on just a second. Credit Solutionist here from PX Credit Solutions. Did you know the number one way to financial freedom is by firing your boss? That's right. Me and 32.5 million other small business owners know this to be true. You have skills and abilities that the marketplace needs. You're just missing a plan. So join me in the How to Start a Small Business from A to Z course. You're going to get over 3 hours of game plus live classes with yours truly. This is the year to take control of your financial future. The links are in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you there. All right, y'all. I'm really here live and in color. It's about 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here. I am technically off, so I didn't even want to come to you guys today. But listen, I promised myself that I was going to go live every single day this week. So I think I did like 3 or 4 live streams early in the morning this week. But here I am. So I am Ashley Victoria Langford, your credit solutionist and owner of PX Credit Solutions, where we help you secure your financial future today. As y'all know, we have a goal this week to live stream every single day. I don't care if it's 2 people or 1,000 people watching, I'm still going to come to you because I made a personal pledge to myself. So let's talk about pursuing your dreams today. I want to talk about the major fears that people have because we did have a few conversations this week about DEI. We talked about, why it is that you all are maybe afraid to pursue your dreams and why you're not making enough money, but you maybe have some fears about going to your employer and asking for more money, essentially securing your financial future. It's not all about fixing your credit score and stuff like that. A lot of times, excelling to get to the place you want to be is an inside job. And because for myself, I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately, looking at where my life is, where I want my life to be, and all of these things, I've decided to pivot. That's right. I'm doing a pivot, and it's not a quiet pivot, it's a loud pivot. So, this channel will be a lot more than just showing you what credit card to apply for, what personal loan to apply for. Because listen, we did that 4 years ago, and everybody that listened to all of the advice that I had in those videos, y'all are now in debt, and you're actually calling me to figure out how to get out of the debt. So anyway, as you guys come in, like the video, go ahead and share this with someone that you think may find benefit here. So most of y'all watching this video right now are probably sitting in traffic, coming home from a job that you absolutely hate. I understand. We've all been there before. Again, as you come in, like the video, you may feel like today you started off going through the motions, and that's totally okay. But today I wanted to talk about something that's super important, and it may change the way that you look at your life, because it's changed the way that I look at my life. When we think about the DEI situation, diversity, equity, and inclusion, I was obviously inspired this week by my girl Cherie over at Black Women Making Money, to talk about that topic and how DEI affects the way that you see yourself, how much you think you're worth, the curiosity that you have to even go further and see what you can actually be in this life. A lot of people are literally keeping themselves blocked off. They're keeping themselves confined to the job title that they have, the degree that they got, and all of that good stuff. I am the first person to say it's cool if you went to school. I didn't. I did, but I dropped out. And because I dropped out, I was forced to actually figure out what I am truly good at. I don't have a degree to back me up. So all I have is a mouthpiece and a brain and audacity. You'll remember that 2 years ago, I talked about having audacity because I moved to a very small town on the East Coast from Los Angeles. And I did it all because I had audacity. I wanted to see if I could. I wanted to see, okay, can I take my business across the country and still do the same numbers that I did in Los Angeles? Can I do it without my mentor? Can I do it without people that are connected politically, in the media? Can I do it without people? Can I do it without living right next door to some of the studios that you guys watch TV shows that are filmed right out of? Can I do it? I had to see, because there's nothing going on in the state that I live in, y'all. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did it. Okay. Because I have audacity, and because I also lack what a lot of you may have right now. And that is a 4-letter word that starts with an F, and it's called fear. So on this Fiesta Friday, I'm going to talk to you about how I overcame my fears, and how, even though I still am fearful about some things in my life and where things are going to go financially, I don't let that stifle me. I don't let it get me to a place where I am paralyzed. And if you have a job right now, consider yourself blessed. That is regular income that you have coming in. So on these moments like right now, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you actually have the freedom, if you so choose, to go and start to live your life, start to plan, right? What is it that you're good at? What are the things that people tell you that, do you have friends that come to you for advice for certain things? Maybe so. Well, that could be something that you're good at. I want you today, as you're listening to this video, whether you're on your way home or already at home and you got your drink ready, because listen, I got mine. I'm not going to be here with you all night. I got dinner on the stove. My cocktail's ready. After I do this live, I'm clicking off and I'm going to bed because I got a lot to do this weekend. But in this video, I just want to talk to you about the fear of pursuit of your dreams, why you might have those fears, and then how to overcome them, because I'm overcoming those things every single day. Now, the number one fear I can talk about that I had this week was fear of going live with you guys every single day. Now, why was I fearful? Number one, because I know that a lot of you guys want to hear certain information. I know that a lot of people are drawn to dramatic things that kind of get your blood to boil. But that's not what this channel is about. I am not here to stir you with current events and media and get you emotionally invested in me by talking about drama. I'm not going to tell you how your life is about to suck if you don't start to do certain things financially. I'm not here to tell you how AI is going to ruin your life, because guess what? It's not. I, on this channel, am all about soft skills. I am about touching people in real life and actually being I don't even know what you would call it, but I believe in one-on-one interactions. So I am definitely, for one, here to tell you that you'll be okay. Just because you're not into AI, don't think you're a weirdo or a loser or that you're going to go to the poorhouse. That is not true. Because the more that, and I'm just speaking on career trajectories here, the more we go into AI and not being able to communicate one-on-one, the more your soft skills and the things that you've developed as far as being able to talk to people, being personable, making eye contact. These are things that are going to actually become skill sets. Okay, y'all. Anyway, I'm going to circle back. We're going to talk about the fear of pursuing your dreams. Okay. So again, as you come in, like the video. So fear has been holding a lot of you guys back. And I know this because as I talk to you guys over at mycreditcall.com, the main thing that I run into when I give y'all a solution, you literally will look me straight in my face and be like, nah, Victoria, I can't do that. Nah, I can't take 2, 3, 6 hours after I get off my job and go make some more money at working at an Amazon warehouse, a Walmart warehouse. Nah, I can't do that, Vic. I'm sorry. Okay, well, that lets me know that you have a fear. You have a fear of failure. You have a fear of being tired. You have a fear that you're wasting a bunch of time doing these extra hours of work, paying off your bills. You are actually afraid of the end of that. You're afraid that once you pay off all your debt, once you actually have the free time to pour into your business to build your legacy, you're actually afraid that you won't know what to do. It took me a while to get there to figure out why everybody's afraid. That is what it is. You're scared that you won't know what to do with the success once you have it. That's what a lot of this is. But it starts off by a fear of failure. So I'm just going to jump into it. I got a little loosey-goosey outline, and then I'm getting up out of here, y'all. So fear of failure is the number one reason a lot of y'all are afraid to pursue your dreams. It's weird to me because you're not afraid to get up every single morning at like 5, 6 o'clock a.m., right? When it's dark, you feeling groggy, you got to tiptoe through the house because you can't wake up your kids, you can't wake up your spouse or your girlfriend or your roommates or whatever. You wake up, tiptoe around the house, shower in silence. If some of y'all, I already heard a lot of people, according to the statistics, I can't say that word, but y'all don't be showering. So half of y'all don't even shower, but you wake up, you tiptoe through the house, you have your coffee, you do all this stuff in silence, and then drive to a job that you absolutely hate. It takes a lot of guts to do that, more guts to do that than it does to actually pursue your dreams, because your dreams are things that you actually know are valid and you know these things matter and they are going to get you somewhere. It's like I said, it's strange to me. And I didn't really realize how odd it is until I started talking to you guys over at mycreditcall.com. So if you're not fearful to go into a job to work for another man and make that other man millions of dollars, where they give you a little slice of the pie, and I mean a little slice, it's not even enough to be considered a slice, it's a morsel. They give you a morsel of the profit that they make. You have so much confidence going and doing that and really believing they're going to get you somewhere. I cannot understand how we give so much of our future to that plan when it's so shaky versus giving your ideas or your energy to a plan that, or a dream that you came up with yourself. There's actually more faith and more, I don't even know the word to say, but it's like there's more, a better output that you're going to have when you are working towards something that you came up with yourself. I only know it because I'm living it now, which is why I've been coming online every single day to y'all. So, the number one thing that I talk to you guys about when we have these consultations, even though you're miserable, you wake up every day, you really hate your life, let's be real. More on that another day. But the number one thing is fear of failure. You actually feel that the dreams that you come up with are not valid. This is a big one. And it's that little voice in the back of your head that says, what if this doesn't work out? This girl is talking to me on this screen. She sounds so hopeful. She's bright eyed and bushy tailed. And I just paid her $200 to talk to her. Yes, I'm expensive. I don't care because I don't have a fear of failure. Hello. I don't have to negotiate a $15 an hour job because I already told you how much I'll charge. $1.99 per hour, baby. It is what it is. Pay it or don't. But you worry, what if it doesn't work out? Okay, well, what if your job or whatever direction you go in, what if it doesn't work out? Guess what? You get to pivot. That's the beauty of it. So we're all scared of putting ourselves out there. That's very natural. The very first time I posted my prices over at mycreditcall.com on my Calendly link, I was so doubtful. You can ask Cherie over at Black Women Making Money. You could ask Mentor Shelly at mentorshelly.com. I remember the day that we three were on a call together and I pulled over because I had just moved to Lynchburg, Virginia from California on my own. Y'all don't ask why. We'll talk about it another day. But I just have a habit of leaving home and I am a sojourner, so to speak. But I remember pulling over and we talked about this. And I remember Cherie said to me, you charge what you charge and your price is the price. Don't apologize for that, Victoria. She told me that. And I remember that because I pulled over and we had to have the conversation. Okay. And I ain't gonna talk about Mentor Shelly. That's my girl. But we were both like, oh, that's right. Our price is our price. Like, why are we sitting here overthinking this thing? And you should feel the same way. You shouldn't agonize. Like, you shouldn't agonize over going into an interview and negotiating your rate. If you went to school and now you have $80,000 of student loan debt, I don't care if that job is only offering you $50,000. You need to ask for 70. And you need to justify why you're asking for 70 because that $40,000 or $50,000 job is not going to cover the fees and interest that you're going to have to need, like to pay for that actual student loan, plus your rent and your mortgage and whatever the hell else you get into. So shout out to Cherie for giving me that info. And I already know I'm losing some of y'all because once I start talking about how much control you have and how nobody else is actually dictating your success, it bothers you. And I understand that because I was there at one point until I had that conversation with my girls that day. So fear of failure is not the end of the world. It's only part of the journey. I know that sometimes when people tell us the story about the light bulb situation and how there was like, they had to do it 1,500 times or something to get the light bulb. Okay, that's great. But you really have to understand the point of that story. The point is that every time you fail at something, it is an indicator that you have to pivot in another direction. That's life, relationships, familial bonds. It's everything, okay? Even if you are trying to get to work quicker one day and you decide to turn left instead of right because you know there's a quicker way and you run into some traffic or the train passes by, that's not a failure. It literally is just telling you, hey, don't go that way tomorrow. Okay. So it literally is telling you where to go. So every rejection that you have in life is actually just, let me not get too woo-woo. It's just a unknown force moving you and turning your head and saying, stop looking over there. You need to go this way. That's all that a failed attempt is. We all know Steve Jobs got fired from his company before they hired him back. And now look what happened with Apple, right? Don't act like this is not a real thing, you guys. This is true. J.K. Rowling, wasn't she homeless before she wrote those stories? Sometimes you have to literally be at your bare bottom, bare minimum, nothing else, F the world attitude, destitute on the street before your creativity is sparked. Some of us are like that, and that is okay. Maybe you have to wake up every single day and not be happy. You have to look at your spouse every day who you hate. Some of y'all really hate your spouses. I be talking to y'all, and some of y'all really don't like the person you lay down with every day. Maybe you have to do that though in your journey to one day say, I'm so uncomfortable here and we're wasting so much time not really loving each other that now I have to do something. Because if I don't, I will literally wither away and die. And I understand that there's people that feel that way. So I say, if you feel that way about anything in your life, it is an indication it is time to pivot. Okay. Like the stream as you guys come in. I am truly live today, so y'all don't need to be quiet. This is actually the day that you need to be talking. So, fear of failure, like I said, we talked about it, I think, yesterday. But again, it's not the end of the world. So, I want you to understand the difference between you and general population is that when you fail, the difference is if you get up and you keep going, right? There's been times I've gotten up on these live streams and it literally says 0 on the screen. Do you think after I've done all of these things in my life, that is going to stop me from yapping? No, it's not. Because there's people on the back end that pay me $200 an hour to get my advice. Yes, braids and beads and all, sweatshirt and all. Yes, they pay me. Okay. So failure in one area or perceived failure in one area of your life isn't indicative that it's going to be that way across the board. You guys have to stop looking at other people who you perceive to be successful. And because you're not able to match the thing they're doing or their results, you feel as if now I have to quit and oh, it's not for me. That's not what it is. It means that you keep going. So I hope that part of the presentation made sense to you. That's one of the fears, fear of failure. There is no such thing as failure. It's literally just, I did it in a way that wasn't optimal the first time. Let me see how I can do it differently the next time, because the goal is still the same. How you get there is different. That's all. Okay. So second thing is going to be fear of rejection. Okay. This is huge. And I was going to go into some personal stories today, but I don't know if I'm going to because there's just so many layers to this. But another reason that we don't try to go to greater heights in our life is because of fear of rejection. This could be romantic. This could be professional. This could be asking somebody to just grab something off of a shelf at the store. People have this idea that they are going to be rejected at every single turn. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have experienced so much rejection in my life. I don't care what avenue or what area you name it, I have been rejected in it. I have been rejected in wanting to get a better job. I've been rejected in romantic relationships. I've been rejected for loans. I've been rejected. Okay. Rejection is a part of life because, as they say, rejection is God's protection. I don't care if you believe in God or not, but it really is some kind of protection from something that's bigger than you. Do you understand? Okay, I did a video like on this channel like 2 or 3 years ago about a $40,000 loan that I got from Navy Federal. This loan was going to cost me $1,100 a month to pay off. I said, even though I got approved for this thing, I'm going to go ahead and reject it because I know I'm not trying to pay Navy Federal $1,100 a month. I rejected that crap straight away. But also, there have been basic credit cards that I've applied for that I've gotten rejected from. Hello, Chase. I hate Chase. I will never promote Chase on my channel. You ain't gonna see me promote Chase. American Express gave me an approval before Chase did. As soon as Chase told me no, y'all, I went over to American Express. I got that gold card, that gold business, American Express, and called it a day. And I know y'all don't believe me. Oh, I don't have my book with me. Hold on. Let me see. No, you know what? I don't have my credit card little folder with me right now. I don't even know where I put it. But anyway, so yeah, that rejection is God's protection. Because honestly, ain't no way I was gonna use that Navy Federal money. They didn't reject me, but I rejected them. So there's also been relationships that I've thought about going into, and then thank God the person said something really stupid, or I look them up online, because y'all, you need to start Googling the people that you want to date. And certain things that I found out about these people showed me, okay, this is not the right person for me. Or if you're dating somebody and they do reject you and you're not really sure why, I know it sucks and it does burn, your soul to be rejected by a potential lover. I'm sorry, y'all, I play with my hair a lot, but I understand that. But that's protection. Believe me. Okay. One day I will come on here and tell you a cautionary tale about the very long relationship that I had and how that not working out pivoted me into an interesting and really enlightening part of my life. And I think it did for him too. And I think that we're both better for not being together. So our mutual rejection of one another was really our protection from one another. If I were to get married, if I were to have gotten married to the person that I thought that I was really going to spend my life with, and only maybe 3 or 4 people truly know this story. So that's why I said I have to come on one day and just kind of weave it into content, right? So I can make some money from it. Um, but if I had ended up with this dude, I would have been divorced by now. We would have had kids that would have come from a broken home right now. I'd be sitting here on this Friday, probably having to sit in traffic like some of you guys and drop my kid or kids off to their father's house. Right? And then we'd be having to do this 50-50 custody thing, or we'd be having to do some child support stuff. Right? It would be weird. So sometimes when you look back at certain rejections, they are okay. I did a video a while ago, and we're talking about fear of rejection right now. Guys, I see you sitting here and you're very quiet. Like the stream, say hello, let me know you're here. I won't reject you. But I think about all the times that I've been rejected in my life. And the beauty of it is that every time I got rejected, as I look back, there was always some amazing person there at the right place at the right time to let me know that everything was going to be okay. Right? I'll just be really brief about this because you guys don't believe what I'm saying. It was a few years ago, and a handful of people know about this. And I talked about it on a national platform, actually, which is weird. You guys don't know how connected I am in certain areas, but I went on this platform and talked about it. But I got rejected by one of my parents about, we're in 2024, about 4 years ago. And I won't say which parent, but you guys can assume because, well, the typical ones that leave their houses. But I was rejected by this parent, and I basically went to this parent and said, I wanted to say, hey, like, I just want you to know, I forgive you. And that's it. I just want you to know, I understand you were there, then you weren't. And then just so you don't die with this on your conscience and I don't die with it on my conscience, I want you to know everything's okay. And that I hope you have a great life. And I plan to have a great life. It'll be kind of awkward that I'll have to explain to my future children that you're not there and that you're alive and you're 2 states over. And I'll have to explain to them why you're not there. But I forgive you for that. It's okay. I get it. You might have been confused, But even, hey, my Miracle 79, I had to say hello to you because people don't believe I'm really here. They think it's a recording, but I'm really here. Thank you so much. Yeah, my content is honestly taking a different spin, but we're going there. And I feel like I could say this because not too many people are watching, so I can kind of spill my guts right now. But anyway, fear of rejection. Went to this parent and they turned me away. And I got to tell you guys, it was tough. It was so tough because I had driven hundreds of miles to go to this person. And it was so weird because the one person that I wanted to be there in that moment just to listen to me and just let me speak said no. Literally said no. We share the same name, the same blood, the same face, literally, y'all. If you saw this person, you'd be like, wow, that person spit Victoria out. And they still rejected me. And it was crazy. Okay, I see you. I see you. Yeah, so this is great. And I know that for some people, the stuff I'm talking about right now is not going to connect. They're going to say, well, what does your parent rejecting you have to do with entrepreneurship? Well, I'm going to tell you, to get rejected by one of the people that you came from shows you, hey, you're open, anybody can reject you, because if someone that you came from can reject you, well, guess what? Guess what? The world will do that too. So this is where you have to dig deep inside yourself and say, oh my God, okay, my mom, my dad, my uncle, my aunts, my cousins, my friends, everybody rejected me. That's cool. But that night or that day or that time in the shower, you were standing there and the water was just pouring down on you. And you had this inkling, this idea, this what do I call it? I have a name for it, and I guess it's because I'm sitting here in front of y'all, I can't think of it, but it's like a divine download is what I call it. Hey, Still Rocks, I see you. So I get these divine downloads, and I'm here to tell you that when you get those downloads, call them what you want, but those are for you and you alone. I don't care if your mom doesn't think that you're supposed to be a business owner. I love my mom to death. But do you understand? My mom doesn't understand what I do. Unless I'm clocking into a job and talking to a boss or talking about how I didn't get the raise I deserved, it doesn't compute for her because none of her children are business owners except me. My mother worked from the time she was a teenager, aerospace, whatever other industries. She's a worker or was a worker. She ain't worked in like 10, 15 years, y'all. She married and she married well. Okay. And she sat down. But it's like she doesn't understand. So am I going to, when I talk to my mom, do you really think I'm looking at her like, oh, she's rejecting me? Oh, she doesn't think my business means anything? No, no. I'm talking to somebody that hasn't done it. Right? So I'm not taking that as rejection or any kind of slight to me. It's like speaking Spanish to somebody that only speaks Mandarin. It's not going to work. It's no hard feelings, y'all. So let's go back to this fear of rejection. So this parent basically was like, nah, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. That's not what they said. But when I really stepped back, yes, I had my moment. Yes, I cried like a little baby. Yes, I was looking like a little bitch, whatever. But after I thought about it, I was like, wait. You got to look at the bigger picture here, Vic. If this person was in your life and if this person actually like did the things you wanted them to do, would your life be any better? Would you really want this person to change their entire situation just for you? And I was like, no. Because knowing me, the first time I got mad at that person, I would probably delete their number because we don't really have that kind of relationship, right? So I thought to myself, okay, this is one of those rejections. Yes, it sucks. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to talk to my mentor about it. I'm going to honestly share it on a national stage because I've shared this story nationally at least twice. Y'all don't know. We're not going to go there today, but yes, I've shared this story on national platforms at least twice. One platform tried to capitalize off of it because they love Black people with missing one of their parents. They love that story. I didn't realize they were trying to capitalize off of it until it was too late, until I already told the story. The second time that I told the story was because my mentor allowed me to come onto their platform and share it so that women and men that look like me and people that share it on a soul level, regardless of the color, could understand that the rejection of the people that you came from is not an indication of your future success. It is not. So I don't care if you walked into your job today and your boss looked at you with some disdain, or they told you that you're not gonna get a promotion because, oh, we just don't have the budget for it. I don't care if that happened. Take it, let it soak in, and move on to the next thing. Because you don't have a choice. That's the other thing. It's not about right or wrong. Okay? This parent that rejected me and continues to reject me to this day, I know for a fact I didn't do anything wrong. I was a beautiful bouncing baby when I was born. I did nothing wrong. So that is the thing that I want a lot of you to internalize. When you're rejected, it doesn't mean it's any indication of you or your character or any of that, unless you did something shady. Then I can't speak for that. And I know that what I just said right now is going to reach somebody. And it's okay if you don't feel comfortable saying that you relate to what I'm talking about in the chat. But based on the statistics in this country, I know that a big chunk of my audience has been rejected by one or more of their parents or family members. I know that. And unfortunately, those tend to be the first types of rejections that we receive in life. And when you are rejected by someone that you come from, your flesh of their flesh, blood of their blood, it can really make you look at the world in a very skeptical way. It comes through in how you treat people. It comes through in your relationships or lack thereof. It comes through in how cutthroat you become. So I'm here to tell you that I want you to tap back in to the person that you were when you were that beautiful bouncing baby. I don't want you to be the person that your parents turned you into. So I'm going to get back to it because I see y'all dropping off because it's a little too woo-woo for you. I probably touched a nerve for some of you guys. So the next time you're afraid to go do something because you're afraid of getting rejected, I want you to ask yourself, what is the worst that could actually happen? The chances are you will be told no. Yes, no's are very painful. Yes. But I want you to go into this weekend, go into your commute home right now, go into the life that maybe you don't want to be in right now. I want you to feel it, like really feel it from like head to toe. Feel it for real. And if it's that bad, then I want you to start doing things to change it. Because every time somebody tells you no, it is literally a form of protection, keeping you from something that is going to be so unfulfilling, it would make your head spin if you kept pursuing it. I know that with this parent that rejected me, if I kept them in my life, do y'all understand how screwed up I truly would become? Because I'd have so many questions for this person. Because it's a whole story about how your girl came to be on this earth. But what I started to realize over the last few years, really, with the help of my mentor back home, is that for whatever reason, like your girl had to be here. And I'm like, damn, okay. Okay. And I'm done with that part of the story because, like I said yesterday, I'm preaching better than y'all are shouting. It's cool because I already know we're on to something. But yeah, think about that. Like if you had an absent parent or a lover, an unrequited love, all that kind of stuff, just really think about what your life would look like if you had kept that thing going. If I had kept my ex from years ago, we would be so unhappy. I would have never started my business. I would just, oh my God, y'all, I would be so unhappy. Part of me wants him to see this, but part of me doesn't because I don't want him to know that that's how I really felt. But I'm pretty sure the feeling was mutual. But the way you also know, as far as the fear of failure thing, is that once you make the hard decisions and then start to go into a different direction, what you'll find, hey, Cherie girl, I'm here. Girl, I know they a little skeptical of me right now. This ain't no recording, y'all. I'm here. But hey, Cherie, girl, I'm just pouring my little heart out on this Friday. And I actually want to chat with you, Mentor Shelly, and possibly Athena. I want to talk to all three of you ladies because I have a topic that I think is going to be a little salacious. And I think that all three of us have a very different spin on it. And it actually has to do with kind of what I'm talking about in relationships and walking away when you know it's not right and you know that it's going to be financially scary and all these things, but you have to walk away. Girl, okay, ma'am. Okay, look, it's going to be messy, but not really. Like, okay, girl, it's going to be messy, but not. It has to do with cohabitation. We'll talk offline. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying, girl. Look, they dropping off because this is too much for them. So, okay, the next thing that I want to talk about, as you guys are, going home, East Coast people, it's like almost 8:00. West Coast folks, it's like, I don't know what, like 4 something where you guys are. But the fear of change. Fear of change will actually keep you poor. It will keep you destitute. It will also keep you in a cycle of the familiar, and it will actually hurt you going forward. As I said before, one of the things that I was afraid of was actually leaving home and forging my own path. It was very scary for me. It's still scary to this day, you guys. But unlike a lot of other people, I'm learning to recognize when fear is just excitement. You have to learn to tell the difference because they both feel the same. If you don't feel fear or feel unease moving into a new direction, I would question it because you should feel those things. If you wake up 365 days a year and you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same results, you know what the outcomes are going to be. It's tough because you don't really have an idea of if that's the right thing you should be doing. So when I say, hey, go get two new jobs. Hey, actually update your resume with Mentor Shelly. Hey, go to Cherie over at Black Women Making Money. Apply for that loan. You never know what might happen. A lot of people get nervous with that. When I actually tell you, hey, it can be done. Go ahead and do it. A lot of times you guys freeze up and I can see it. And that's why I do one-on-one consultations on camera, because I like to see your physical cues. You don't see that you're doing it, but I do. You freeze up. And the reason you freeze up is because I did something that no one else in your life is doing. I told you that you can get it done. And not only did I tell you that you could get it done, I gave you two or 3 or 4 or 5 people that you could go to get it done right now. So when that happens, your brain short circuits because you're used to people telling you, you're dumb. Jamal, I say Jamal, but y'all know I'm being facetious. Curtis, whatever. You can't do that, man. You crazy. So when you book a call with me and I say, hey, actually you can do it, and here's the blueprint for how you actually do it, then you start getting nervous. And you know why? Because you actually have to take steps to make that change. And you actually have to then start becoming the person that you see in your head, but you don't know what that looks like in the real world. So you get afraid, you get scared. I get it. It's fearful, man. I never thought I was going to be considered a damn Virginian, but I'm a Virginian now. And some people think, that's who cares about Virginia or whatever. Okay, but listen, some of the most poignant things that have ever happened in my life happened in Virginia. Cherie, if you still here, you already know what I'm talking about, girl. Virginia has run me through the ringer. But what's so interesting about the state of Virginia since I've been here is that I have met some of the worst demonic people I've ever met, but I've also met some of the best most loving people I've ever met in my life. It's so crazy, y'all. So I can't focus on just the negative that I've gotten since being here. Virginia really is for lovers. I remember doubting that slogan for a long time at the very beginning of this year. More on that on another day when I really trust y'all a little bit more. You know. But Cherie knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, Virginia is for lovers, but it also is for demons, okay? And then personal property taxes are not a joke. So don't come here unless you're ready to spend some money, because Virginia is expensive. Please don't believe that the South is cheap. It ain't. So fear of change. If I was afraid of the fear of change, I would have never stepped out and started a business. I would have never gotten the nerve to start a YouTube channel. I would have never gotten the nerve to, like, I don't know, walk into some of the events that I walk into and just say, yo, I'm here. Here's my business card. Here's my website. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Right? Fear of change will really keep you stifled. And I don't want you guys to go through that. And that's why we had the topic about diversity, equity, and inclusion yesterday. I'm not going to go too far into it because I know it ruffles some of y'all's feathers. But here's the thing. If they take that out of the landscape of work, and if they take that out of the professional landscape, it literally means a lot of you guys are going to have to change. You're going to have to change how you maneuver in the workplace. You're going to have to change the idea of, oh, my degree is enough, because it ain't. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I don't have a degree. And that's how I know your degree is not enough. I am the person that has the gift. I'm not cocky. I'm not going to say I have the gift of gab. But when I'm one-on-one with people in person, I do have an energy. Some people that are more scholastic or cerebral, they don't have that. They don't have that soft skill. So just like you may be very bright on the academic side, if you're lacking on the other side, which is the soft skills and things like that, that's a change, right? So it's not that because there's no diversity, equity, and inclusion that you're going to be left out. It's not that. It's just that now you have to sharpen your skills in another area. Now you have to develop soft skills. I don't care how many of you think that AI and computers are going to take over the world. Guess what? If that happens, there is now going to be an area for those of us that have soft skills and know how to make eye contact in person and know how to actually touch a person and give hugs and look a person in their eye and say, hey, I see you. Tell me about your day. You really don't think there's going to be a market for that skill? Okay. Believe what you want to believe, you guys. Now, you do need to get your certificates and things like that, but you still need to understand that a big reason a lot of y'all are scared of this DEI thing is because there's going to be some changes, and that you are going to be pressured a little bit to grow your skill set. I'm gonna leave it at that. Cherie, if you're still here, you probably know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, Steve, I see you just said something. Yes, thank you so much. Every good position I've ever had, I just told you guys I didn't finish school. Now I kind of wish that I did, but I didn't. And it would okay. Maybe I'm gonna be selective about what I say because I'm not trying to insult anybody. I think there's value in going to school. I do. But I don't think there's value if I have to pay for it. Because anything that you can learn in a university is already online. University just gives you networks, and most people do not utilize their networks when they're at school. You keep your head in the books, which is actually not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep your head in the books, but you're also supposed to realize you're in an area with a ton of people you will never run into in your life ever again. So you need to form those connections so you can utilize them later on in life. So for those of you that don't know, I have a therapist. And the interesting thing about my therapist is that part of her identity is that she is what are they, y'all? The ones that do the pink and the green. What are those girls? Oh my God. The pink and the green, y'all. What are they? Oh my God. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. What are those girls? What are the sorority girls that wear the pink and the green? Oh my God. I gotta Google it now. I'm sorry, y'all. But this is her identity. And everything, every time I go into her office, she has on pink and green. And everything in her office is pink and green. Hold on. What sorority is it? She's an AKA. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Cherie. She is an AKA, and that is her entire identity. Okay. And not her entire, because she's amazing, but it's a big part of her identity. Her nails are always pink and green. Her outfits are always pink and green. She has pink and green all in her office. Y'all listen, and AKAs are a big deal here in Virginia, because I remember I wore a green sweatshirt with actually this that I'm wearing right now. I had this shirt, this sports bra, and a green sweatshirt with my shoulder out. And a girl ran up to me at the gas station and she was like, "Are you an AKA?" Girl, no, I'm just somebody that didn't want to match today. I just threw this threw this on to come get some gas. And she looked at me so disappointed, y'all, because she just knew I was one of her sistren. I was not. I said, "Girl, I just threw this on to come to the gas station." But I'm saying all that because of if you guys are afraid of change, that's going to be a problem. But when it comes to the sorority stuff, the fraternities, that stuff is deep. It's literally so you have connections for the rest of your life. It's not just to wear the colors. Like, she knows if she ever didn't want to, if she wanted to pivot into another industry, nobody cares about her degree. If she's an AKA, she's gonna get in. It's just because she's part of the organization. You got to be connected, okay? Yeah, they do. And now, are deltas the ones that are like red and white? Because I think it's the red and white is the deltas or something. I don't know, y'all. Y'all know I don't know these dang colors. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, Cherie, I probably would have did the exact same thing, because to me, again, this is just a difference of opinion. You're not paying those thousands of dollars for that piece of paper. You're not paying. Okay. This is let me, hopefully y'all can't see my notes. Look, this is my notes about my life and stuff, but this is me and my AKA. We share this, but yeah, this is, you're not paying $40,000 for this. You're paying $40,000 for, if you're down and out, you can call one of your sorority sisters and say, "Hey sis, I need help." Right? That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the organizations that you were in college. You're paying for when you did the philanthropic stuff when you were in school, you made connections there as well. And you can always fall back and say, "Hey, I need help." The piece of paper is a supplement. This is actually not what you're going to school for. And I think that's the biggest trick that everybody has fallen for. I have a friend, and without saying too much, because this is not a jab, but I have a friend that pursued higher education. And now when I speak with her, it's like she's taken on a pretty big amount of debt, I would say. It's pretty sizable. But she's like, kind of like, "Well, I can't really pivot. Like, I don't understand why these people don't want to hire me." And I'm like, "Well, I could tell you why. It's because you are educated. That's why they're not hiring you." Because sometimes, sorry to say, we're speaking on the real world, okay? Pull yourself out of the academic world. We're saying in the real world, when you have degrees, sometimes people think you're going to command too much money. So you're too expensive because now you're sophisticated, okay? They also believe you're going to leave, so they're not going to invest in you. And I see you guys are dropping off. Those are probably some college graduates that don't agree with what I'm saying. That's okay. That is okay, because I already know what I'm saying is factual, at least to a certain degree. But that's the thing. So what I keep telling this friend is, "Hey, you got to start your own business." I say, "Hey, look, you got the degrees. That's good. Keep applying, keep doing what you're doing. But don't negate the fact that you still need to start a business as an HR consultant. That's what you need to do, because that is your expertise. You got the community, you have the connections. Stop trying to push yourself into somebody's organization. Stop it. You see what I'm saying? This is kind of what I'm talking about tonight. It's like, stop trying to fit your square ass self into a circle. Stop it. Okay. And I'm just talking about shape. You're not really a square. I'm a square. I'm a square bear. Okay. Boring. But that's what I'm saying. Stop trying to fit into scenarios and areas that you don't need to be. If you keep getting that rejection, it is a sign that you probably need to be going into business for yourself. Cherie, girl, you giving my chat life, girl. Thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Okay, red, black, and white. Yes, girl. Look, these girls be disappointed when they find out I'm not a college grad. I don't know what to tell them. I'm sorry. I might go back, but honestly, y'all, I'll be pushing 50 by the time I get a degree with the way my schedule looks. I am not going to stop my life to go get an education. I'm not. I believe for me, and I've been this way since I was a kid, I am absolutely a school of hard knocks person. I have to fall on my butt to learn my lesson. I am hard-headed. Maybe not hard-headed. I think that's the wrong term. That's another thing. We have to learn to use better words to describe ourselves as we go on into this third and fourth quarter of the year. We have to speak more highly of ourselves. I am not hard-headed. I am very steadfast. When I believe in a thing that I'm doing, I am very steadfast. But I also understand that if a thing is not working and I keep trying to do it with the same approach, at some point I gotta let it go. So just like my friend, I told her, hey, stop trying so hard to get these people to accept you. There is something about how you're presenting or something about your background. They don't want it. And it doesn't mean you are bad. It just means you don't fit in that organization. Sis, there's nothing wrong with that. Imagine going into an organization that is paying you $80,000 a year. And because you're so focused on giving them your undivided time and attention, you miss out on this other opportunity where they could have paid you $100,000 to $150,000 because you were so hell-bent on getting this company to see you. And that's what I'm talking about. And part of, I'll talk about it later on, probably later on this year. Maybe I'll do it for New Year because that'll actually be a year commemorating the biggest lesson that I ever got in my life, about pushing a scenario or pushing a situation that did not need to be pursued and ignoring all of the signs that you shouldn't have done it and you shouldn't have been there. I'm going to tell you guys that story. I've been thinking about it and I've talked to enough people. I actually had a consultation with a marketing company and we talked about it, and I said, hey, there's this really weird thing that happened to me and it's slightly embarrassing, and I don't know if I want to share it with my audience, but I have a strong feeling a lot of my fear. We're talking about fear. Okay, I'm gonna go there. I'm not gonna tell you what it is just yet, but I'm gonna go there. So there's a situation that happened to me at the very beginning of this year, and it was so isolating and so embarrassing and painful. And I actually got confronted with, how do I say it? I didn't get confronted with the person, but I got confronted with someone that was adjacent to the person that caused me a lot of grief and pain this year. And I mean, emotional, financial, all kinds of stuff, you guys. And this person was right in my face and I didn't see it coming. I thought I was over it. And then I got confronted with it like 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So I had to confront, am I healed? Am I really healed? Or am I just not agitated by the thing that caused me a lot of pain this year? And it turns out I have just been isolated away from that situation. Y'all, these life lessons be coming. I'm gonna drop it one day. I might actually drop it as a members only video though, because it really is something that's a little crazy, but we'll see. Okay, The network is the reason why I'm exactly. That's what I'm saying. Donald Watts. And I think I've seen you over on Diamond Dave's channel. So big up to you. You know, Diamond Dave is my guy. If you guys are actually going to be in Atlanta in the next couple of weeks, I know I'm going to be there and I know Diamond Dave's going to be there. I don't know about anybody else. I think Mentor Shelley, a few other people. We're going to be over at Erica Williams' meetup that she's going to have. Believe me, I am not the star of that show. But if you want to say hello to me and see me in person or whatever, I'm a real person. Come say hello. But I'm going to be there. And I think it's on the 25th of this month. So I'm doing an overnighter. I'm coming in Saturday, flying out Sunday. Okay. Because your girl got stuff to do. So come and see us. And yeah, network, you're right. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, look, Still Rocks. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, and if you guys want to come up and chat with me, you don't have to get on camera or anything like that. But if you want to come on and talk to me, I would love to actually chat with you guys. Hold on, I haven't done this in a while. How do I actually give you guys the link? Let me see. Where is it? Oh, invite. I think that's what it is, right? Okay. So you guys can come on. Just make sure you have your clothes on and stuff. Don't come on here indecent. And don't come on here if you're not if you're driving, if you don't have your phone mounted or something, do not come on here. I don't support that, okay? Because we ain't trying to see you crash on camera. All right. I'm trying to get this video monetized. Okay. But yeah, if you want to come on, click the link right there and I'd be more than happy to have you come on and we'll just talk about like fear of change or whatever you want to talk about on this Fiesta Friday. Thank you guys for stopping by. Degree or not, you won't be successful if you're risk averse to the point that, oh my God. Thank you so much for saying that, Donald Watts. Oh my God. Yes, you cannot be risk averse in this lifetime. What I find people, okay, when I talk to people during these consultations, it's so crazy. I think I was listening to, I want to say it might have been Dave Ramsey or that new really hip black chick that he has on his platform now. I love her. I don't know what her name is. You guys, if you know it, drop it in the chat. But yes, you have to be non-risk averse and you have to be comfortable with risk. And I actually sent this thing to Diamond Dave yesterday. I'm going to show you guys. Hold on. It might still be there. Let me see. I sent this, it was a meme about the stock market and I sent it over to him and I thought it would crack him up. But y'all know Dave, he a hard nut to crack, y'all. Okay. Dave was like, yeah. And he told me somebody else actually did it before the person that I showed him. But this was just a video about the stock market and how it works. Ah, shit. Y'all probably can't see it. But basically the dude is like, he throws in one can of Coke or can of soda and then the person throws him 2 cans back. He throws in a small bag of Funyuns, they throw him a big old bag of Funyuns back. So we're talking about risk here, guys. He throws in a couple of dollars, they throw him a stack back. So then he starts going crazy and he throws all of his stuff in there and then they close the gate. So the point of that is if you, oh, hey, girl, I didn't even see you there. Hey, girl.
Hey girl, what's up?
Nothing, girl. I wasn't going to come on today, but I decided that I had to. And I love that avatar, by the way. You looking
Oh,
real
thank
cosmopolitan,
you.
boo.
Girl, yeah, like one day I was feeling myself. I'm like, let me take a couple pictures.
Ma'am, that's what we have to do. And honestly, Cherie, girl, I don't know. I've had this new lease on life, and you and I probably have to talk offline about it. But
Hmm.
um, I just realized that every day is literally a new beginning. Do you ever feel that just yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I think that every day is either a new beginning or like you have different seasons in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I started my like, this season in my life probably 3 years ago. Um, so Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's more of the seasons of life and like what's the
Mm-hmm.
next big thing that I'm going to accomplish. But yeah, I mean, some days I have bad days, and then you know, uh, I wake up the next day and I say, okay, I'm get at it again. I'm gonna leave yesterday behind and figure it out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is there something that you tap into specifically? Because I was being facetious yesterday, and I guess you can understand because I think we're on somewhat of the same trajectory, but then I think there is a part where we kind of go different ways on this. But
Hmm.
as you know, I still, girl, I'm still like, hey, I'm gonna do this and that in my life, and oh yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of babies and stuff like that. So
Uh,
how do we stay positive about the thing that we want and not
hmm.
get discouraged? Like, do you ever experience being discouraged? And do you
Oh yeah.
experience fear of change, fear of failure, all that stuff? And if you do, like, what does that look like for you?
I definitely experience a lot of fear. I have a
I'm
lot of fear
texting
of
Mentor Shelly,
failure.
by the way. I want to have her come on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I fear failure. I
Hmm.
fear embarrassment. I fear success
Hmm.
sometimes. I wonder if I've made the right decisions. I had
Okay.
a massive career change a couple of years ago, as
Hmm.
everyone who is following me on social media knows. And yeah, I wake up at least 3 times a week thinking, did I make the right decision? You know?
Wow.
Um,
Is
even
there a
earlier today, I
particular
was thinking that.
decision? Is there a decision that you would feel comfortable enough sharing that you kind of question sometimes, or?
Yeah, so when I decided to, first of all, I knew like 4 years ago that I wanted to change careers, and I started
Okay.
looking around, figuring out what I wanted to do. And one of the things that I like was looking at was like, what can I get into that would be great money, but that would not be stressful? And not that I didn't want any stress, but like I had a certain threshold of stress that I was didn't want to exceed.
Mhm.
Well, the career that I have now, even though I like being a mortgage loan officer, it is
Mhm.
much more stressful than I thought it would be. And I do, wonder, and earlier today I was wondering this, like the other career that I was considering, maybe I should have pursued that versus being a loan officer, you know?
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, so, you know, or there are some people who will go to college, for example, and they'll decide on a major, and then, halfway into it or 3/4 of the way into it, they're like, "Did I make the right decision?
Mhm.
Am I studying the right thing, or am I dating the right man? Well, I've been dating this same man for 5 years, and he says he's gonna marry me any day now, so I'm fearful of, you know." Uh,
Girl.
Look, there are a whole bunch of scenarios we can go through with regards to this. So,
Ma'am.
look, it's the truth.
It is.
It's the
So,
truth.
and
So,
that's why I want to have you come on. Because I'll just tell you the topic. And girl, don't cover this without me. But I
okay,
wanted to talk about cohabitation
okay.
and whether or not it is a financial, like we should use it as a financial move to pivot eventually. Because sometimes I figure if, let's say you and a significant other move in together,
Hmm.
we already know what the other person feels like they're going to benefit from. So my question is now, I'm going to talk about it offline because I feel
Okay.
like it could actually be a financial move if we do it correctly and if we see the writing on the wall from the very beginning. So and I can only speak on it because I have experienced it. Anything I talk about on this channel, you guys, just 1 second, Cherie. Anything I talk about on this channel, y'all, any topic, it's because I have life lived experience. I am not on here as somebody that's trying to do some salacious, sensational crap. I don't have enough time in my life to do that. But I have been through some things in my life where, things we thought were going to go in a certain direction didn't. And looking back, would I have played the game differently? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to teach any young woman that watches this channel, any young man that watches this channel, this is how you pivot and maneuver in these situations. If you've been shacking up with somebody for 5 years and you still waiting on that ring, sis, you probably not gonna get it.
You're not gonna get it.
You're not gonna get it. And I
Or if you
know
do get it, the chances of you getting divorced within a year are astronomically high.
exactly. And it doesn't mean that your love wasn't real, blah, blah, blah. Love can be real and not last, y'all. That's true. Like, I love 1,000 people, but I don't live with them. You know what I'm saying? I could love you and
Y-
not live with you. Like, come
You
on
you
now.
love
Like,
1,000 people?
girl, I didn't say men. I just meant loving people in general. No, because that can happen too. Like, you could cohabitate with a roommate and it not work out. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
oh my God, like, I will tell you, I had a roommate twice in life, and both times it sucked and it killed our friendship. And looking back, I regret moving in with those people. I'm like, oh my God, I should have just stayed by myself. Like, what the hell was I thinking? So I'm
Yeah.
here in this big apartment in Richmond. I'm not moving anybody in. I don't care. Like, unless you're gonna pay, it's gonna be a surcharge. You ain't gonna pay half the rent. You're gonna pay probably like 3/4 of it to live with me. Cause girl, I ain't got time. I ain't got time.
Well,
I
look,
need to get a
my
headset
father.
though. But keep
Okay,
talking what you were saying because I can hear you on this.
okay. My father used to say that peace is priceless, especially in your home.
Yeah.
For my father, this is one of the major lessons that he taught me was that the best thing that you could have in your life is a peaceful home. And even for 3/4 of your rent, Victoria, if that person's going to come and cause chaos in your life, that 3/4 of the rent just isn't worth it. And of course, you know this. I'm just kind of saying it overall, right? Like, there are certain things within life that no amount of money is worth, you abandoning. And for me, my peace is one thing. Like, I don't want to be on the
Mhm.
street, but as long as I have a house and food and some gas in my car, like
Mhm.
I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. So
Yeah, when
um
you say you don't want to be bothered, is it more of the mental strain that it could take on
yeah,
you?
I don't want somebody coming in and disrupting my life. Like some people, and this is a social media thing, some people will allow they will get into a relationship with somebody and they will stay in that relationship with somebody because it gets them some kit clicks, some views, a YouTube check, etc. For me, my peace is worth more than that,
Mhm. I
right?
feel you. I could think of
Yeah.
an Instagram couple right now, and we're gonna get messy. So last next week, if it is still a big topic, which who knows, because we have the attention span of goldfish. Um, it's an interracial couple. I want to talk about it.
Oh, is that Queens lady?
Whoever the girl, the little short, dark skinned
The little
chick with the
short
big
girl and with the
old
big eye?
burly,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
girl.
So
Because
I've
I was
heard.
like, he a little hot, but I'm sure he's a mess. So
Yes, yes. So so I think I watched a 10-minute video about it.
Hmm.
So I was aware of them before, but I didn't really watch them. I just knew who they were.
Okay,
And
same. Yeah.
people talked about them, but um I wanted to have the conversation of don't trust anybody on social media because people are just lie, lie, lie.
Hmm.
And you're sitting there comparing your life to their life, and their life is 10 times worse than yours ever could be. So, you know, anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to go in depth with that because I know there's a lot of statistics about the cohabitation thing
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people don't want to look into. And actually, here in Virginia, I had a chat with a girl, and it's so crazy. You know how sometimes you meet your former self in the form of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally had to look this girl in the face and tell her, like, girl, I don't think that guy wants to marry you. Like, it's been 8 years. Like, get out now while you're still fertile and all kinds of stuff. Like, girl, stop it. You know, like you're breaking your back here trying to make more money, trying to do all this stuff. And this dude is just chilling. He's gaming every night. He's just, girl, what are you doing? So yeah, we'll have a conversation because me, I could start and go just yapping, girl.
Yes. So then I want to invite you on as well to my channel to talk about how to financially vet a man, because I did the conversation when I first started my channel.
Hmm.
Uh, And I was going through, I don't know why it showed up in my feed. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, we should go back and revisit this because my channel obviously has grown since I initially did that. But I think it's so important. And look, I only do the finances. I don't, I don't do anything else. I can't tell you how to vet a man totally, but I know how to vet a man financially. And I think you would have a lot to offer with
Hmm.
regards to that as a topic. Um, so yeah, so we can definitely have different conversations. I do want to get back though to your fear, fear of pursuing your dreams as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to hear everything you said, but I do know that you are suggesting people get into business,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I'm curious why you are really pushing so many people based on your new platform into
Mm-hmm.
starting a business. The only reason I'm asking is because I think that business ownership is great. However, if you're not ready for roller coaster revenue, as I call it, then
I like
being a
that.
full-time entrepreneur is not for you. Now, being a part-time business, definitely.
Hmm.
Or having a part-time business, definitely. Or the business of managing your investments in your portfolio, because everybody is a business with regards to, like, you have a client of one, as Mentor Shelley would say, which could be your employer, right?
Hmm.
Or you're managing your investments, you're managing your stock portfolio, your real estate, things like that. But I'm curious, what some of your thoughts are with regards to entrepreneurship and if entrepreneurship is for everybody.
No, hell to the no. It is not for everybody because, like I was talking about this week, just to really give the kindergarten answer, how many people will really be willing to get on? Okay, because this is part of entrepreneurship, right? Me
Mhm.
getting on here, just talking to an audience of, now it says 6. I've watched this number fluctuate. I don't care if it goes up, 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 or down, 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 because the message is greater than people coming in and saying, "Oh, it's not for me. I wanted to hear some drama this week. I wanted to hear some crazy ish that's going to upset me." I don't care about that. My goal is bigger than that. Your average person does not have that kind of tenacity. They don't have that kind of foresight where they say, okay, even though somebody's not watching today, that is still me putting another little bit of content that's there for when the channel really blows up. There's going to be all these videos for people to watch, right?
Mhm.
An entrepreneur thinks that way, where they learn consistency. I personally am learning that from you. I'm learning that from Erica Williams. I'm learning that from Diamond Dave. Everybody that shows up regularly, I am learning, like, oh, that's actually a part of my business structure that I'm missing. So, in my heart, like, okay, I will say entrepreneurship, you have to have nerve and you have to have audacity. And that was actually going to be the actual theme of tonight's video. You have to have the audacity to, like, wake up in the morning, and I think it's Grant Cardone, I think, that says it. Who has my money? And I
Mhm.
remember telling this to a client because I thought I came up with it myself. And that's how I know it was a divine download. I had never heard Grant Cardone say this ever. But I looked at my client and I said, you got to wake up every day and you have to say, who has my money? And if you don't wake up with that idea in your head and know it in your gut that your money is already out there, it's just you have to figure out who to get it from. You are not meant to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. You may be meant to work for an entrepreneur, which is your boss or your organization, rather, that you work for. So, my thing is either you have it or you don't. I don't know if it's something that can be developed. So, maybe I have a lot to learn when it comes to that. I'm just very stubborn and I don't like to be told what to do. And like I have a visceral reaction when somebody tries to make me do something that I don't want to do. And I've been fighting it. I hope I'm answering your question, but like I've been fighting that part of me for so long, Cherie. It's
Mm-hmm.
like my mom did a great thing the other day. She sent me all of these little baby pictures, and it's the best thing that my mom could ever do for me. She knows me like you'd swear that I came out of her. But like she'll send me these little pictures of these little moments in my life. And she loves this picture where I'm off walking by myself. And when I see that picture, I'm like, oh my God, that's totally me. I am a person that forges my own path. I'm a person
Mm-hmm.
that you tell me to go left, I'm going right. You already know, Cherie. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if you have that kind of tenacity in you, you might be meant to actually be either a part-time or full-time business owner. Because when people call you hard-headed, do some soul searching, but you might actually be headstrong, not stubborn. Learn to really get in touch with the parts of you that are actually a leader. Maybe you're meant to be a leader in an organization, but you may also be meant to be a leader in your actual life. You got to figure that out. So I can't really say when or how somebody will know that going into business is the right thing for them. But if you're annoyed getting up every morning, if you hate your boss, if you hate your organization, but you keep taking that paycheck, it might be time to pivot into your own business or getting another job, but you're not happy where you are. So I don't know. I'm sorry, girl. I don't know if I answered your question. You know, I go off on tangents, but
Well, yeah. So my question was, should everybody own their own business?
I
And
think so.
you and I, so so there's
Oh, look,
the
Donald Watts. I don't know if he's
traditional,
answering.
yeah. There's a traditional kind of business, and I see what Donald is saying there as well. There's a traditional kind of business. Traditional businesses are not for everybody, but there are alternative business or just the business of watching over, like I said, your investments. That is a business as well. There are
Mm-hmm.
people who make really good money just investing in dividend stocks, or like Diamond Dave is doing with his investing in the market,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Um, and like I said, sometimes if you can't deal with roller coaster revenue, you've got small kids, you have to have a paycheck every other week, then having a full-time business is not necessarily for you. But the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I have believed, and I think is true, is that business is simple, but it's not easy. Like, I think these days, so many of us want the next exciting thing. That's the reason why, if you have, I'm not going to call any social media, but if you have a person talking about the latest couple that's breaking up, for
Mm-hmm.
example, or what's happening with Diddy, or, you know, things like that, that gets 10 times the views as something like this, or
Mm-hmm.
something that's more substantive, etc. And most people, like, you could do three, four things really well and make three to $500,000 in business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But are you willing to do the same thing over and over and over again when it gets boring? That's the real key. That's the real key. So, fearful of pursuing your dreams, this is your topic for this evening. If you're not willing to do the boring stuff over and over and over again, those boring businesses, the
Mm-hmm.
boring stuff, um, you aren't going to make it. Like, that is really the thing you have to kind of put, think about as you're thinking about starting a business. It's yeah.
What's
So
an example of something boring that you're talking about? Like, what's an example?
uh one thing is, let's say that you okay, so I'll say certain things in my business.
Mhm.
Every day in my business, I have to block out 2 hours a day for prospecting, talking about who's got my money, right? And it could be very boring, like getting on the phone, calling people, leaving
Yeah.
messages for 2 hours straight, right? But every time I do that, the phone rings, business falls in my lap. When I don't do it, 30 to 60 days later, I feel it, right?
Mhm.
Or every Wednesday, I send out an email newsletter. Every time I do that,
Yeah.
business falls in my lap. The day I don't do it, if you don't do it like for 2, 3, 4 weeks, what
Mhm.
happens? Stuff dries up.
Girl.
Do you have, this is where I said business is simple but not easy. Like,
Right.
do you have the tenacity, as you said, to stick with doing the boring thing year after year after year?
Right. It's boring, but it works because
It's
you're
boring, but
so
it
right.
works. Yes. But you want to skip to the next thing that's exciting and fun and things like that. And the
Yes.
boring stuff works. It's probably more fun for me to create some super, you know, um, I don't know, social media posts and videos with that's super editing and stuff flying all around it. It's boring to just get on the phone and talk to people.
Oh my God. I will tell you the most boring part of my what I do is having, well, I feel like I'm gonna hire somebody, but the the stuff like having to create an email campaign,
Mm-hmm.
the having to do, oh, I have to go on Instagram or whatever. I've been so resistant to that that I know for a fact if I could just kind of wrangle myself and make myself do it, I would be 10 times more successful than I am right now. Can I
Mm-hmm.
actually share something with you that
Please
actually
do.
that came to me? Um, and let's actually read this comment. Like, girl, they dropping off. They like, we came for some drama. Okay, that's a word. Kind of like going to the gym when you fall off, that when you get really sore. Yeah, and
And don't, yeah,
the soreness is how you know it's working though. I'll never
yep.
forget a guy that I was dating told me one time. He said pain is weakness leaving the body. And I was like, "What?" It stuck with me the whole time. I was like, "Oh my god, this dude is really onto something," because the pain signifies that I'm doing something that actually is strengthening me.
Hmm.
So like this week when I challenged myself, I think I only did like four. I think today makes four, 3 or 4 live streams that I did every day. And even though it was tough, it was like, okay, this is really where I feel really comfortable, like just getting online and talking my ish.
Hmm.
But, and sometimes you're not going to see the return right away. Like the very first time that I got 10,000 views on a video in my YouTube, I kid you not. I did the video, dropped it on the site and didn't come back for 4 months. And when I came back 4 months later, it I was literally this close to getting monetized. And I was
Hmm.
like, how did that happen? Because I remember when I was in my little apartment in Hollywood, just doing my videos, cranking them out, cranking them out. I was in Erica's YouTube course. I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, yo, like I'm getting a couple thousand here and there, but it's not really hitting like I wanted to. I kid you not, Cherie. And we're talking about like things that seem boring and redundant. I said it yesterday. The best turnout I ever had on my videos were the ones where I got on with no makeup and just talked.
Hmm.
about a thing that I know about and just said, hey, you do this and you do this and you do this and you get this. Your credit solutionist. See you on the next one.
So pause. Okay. The I'll raise you a level.
Mm-hmm.
The truly successful business people will say that message over and over and over again for 5 years. So you get tired of, now I'm about to drop a gem here for anybody that's listening. You might want to get a pen and paper for this. You will
Mm-hmm.
get tired of your message and your teachings before other people do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the political campaign, and I don't care if you're pro Democrat or pro Republican.
Mm-hmm.
What works in politics is finding a message that resonates with people and doing what? Hammering it over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You think Donald Trump, well, he may not be, but he should be tired of saying the same thing over and over and over again. And guess what? If he doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
then people are going to forget his message.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Democrats, same thing with you, same thing with me.
Yep.
Like, it's about finding something you're going to be known for. And this is why I say business is simple but not easy.
Yes.
Because the whole thing with regards to, again, I keep going to your topic of the day, the fear is you getting bored. While stuff is working, you're gonna be making money, but
Mm-hmm.
you're like, I'm so effing tired of saying the same thing over and over
Yes.
again. But guess what? That's when it starts working.
That, and I will tell you, Cherie, sometimes it burns my soul because I know in my heart I will always be the credit solutionist.
Mm-hmm.
But say what you want, or anybody say what you want about this person. I love Dave Ramsey. I love him. Look at the empire that man has built. If
Yes.
I could be some amalgamation of Dave Ramsey, Anthony O'Neill, who obviously branched off and did his own thing, a little pinch of Erica, because I've been compared to her a lot. And I'm like, y'all know Erica is way above anything I could ever think of doing. But it's because I have my own lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be a little bit of every single one of these people, but be myself. And I think that's a fear a lot of people have. They're afraid of being the first person, but they're also afraid of, like you said, that wall that you're going to hit, where because if you become popular as this one thing, it is very hard to pivot into something else and be known
Mm-hmm.
as something else. But I want to be a well rounded financial educator and coach. I want to be a well rounded speaker. I want to touch people, not just in the credit space, but I want you to get down to what happened to get you in the debt situation, because I know that's a foundational thing. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's not just, oh, I just got the wrong credit card and I didn't pay attention to the interest rate. Well, why didn't you? So let's talk about that. Because I know that my financial issues had to do with psychological and the things that I felt about myself at a base level, right? I know there's a mental heart connection to money and all of that. So it is not just going to be credit. And I'm sorry to the people that won't come with me on that journey, but I'm getting very close to discovering the thing that I'm meant to do in this life. And it is finance, but it is not just credit. So I hope that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. But the
Yeah.
monotony, the monotony that I have to deal with right now, I'm okay and I'm at peace with that, because as a business person, that is something that you have to accept. And Andre Hatchett says it the best. He's like, the boring, monotonous things are the things that are going to set the foundation and get you the money.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping he comes to Atlanta actually, in a couple of weeks, because I'd like to meet him in person. um but yeah, he said that, and it's only now starting to sink in. And I think that's the part that a lot of people have to prepare for, that the social media personalities do not disclose. They don't disclose to you the boring things that they do behind the scenes. They don't disclose to you that they go to meetups and networking events and they have to shake hands and pass out their business card and keep the momentum going, right? Because Cherie, you go to meetups, right? to
Yes.
network and things. Is
Yes.
does that become monotonous to you sometimes?
The driving to and from the meetups do. Yes.
Okay,
Once I'm there meeting new people, like I happen to like meeting people, so I'm
same.
fine with that. But last night it was raining
Mhm.
and getting into my car to go and drive 35 minutes to a networking event, you know, as you are well, I already have my clothes on, but as you putting on your makeup, things like that,
Mhm.
fixing your hair, what like, you're like, do I really want to go? That is the monotony that you have to get past. And I love the
Okay.
term, I love how you're going with this with monotony, because
Mm.
the truth is monotony equals money.
Oh my God. Girl, I've
It's true.
been you're so right. It's that's the part of
Yes.
business that we have to accept and just be okay with it.
Yes, just like Celine was talking about the gym, right?
Mhm.
Like like the people who are the healthiest, they've been going to the gym for, 4 or 5 days a week for the past 20 years,
Mhm.
right? The goal is not to gain 100 pounds, lose 100 pounds, gain 100 pounds, lose 100 pounds, right? It's to consistently be healthy.
Mhm.
But that's monotony as well. I mean, how many times can you do the stair climber and it be
Uh,
something new,
I
right?
mean,
Uh,
yeah.
It's the truth,
You're not
you know?
lying. I wish I could show it on my camera, but this is what I did. Okay. Also, I think that part of that monotony is getting, well, not even monotony, but you have to get ahead of yourself. And I wanted to
Hmm.
actually ask you about that because what I've been learning over the last couple of months, and truly after starting therapy, because I didn't realize that I needed it or that it would benefit me, but it really has over the last, how long I've been doing it. And it's like, I have to get ahead of myself
Hmm.
and recognize that every day I have to move my body. Every day I have to be mindful about what I'm putting in my body. That is monotonous, you guys. Like it's
Yes.
right here on my floor. I went, or I didn't go, but I said, okay, I've accepted I'm a little lazy, right? I'm going to be
Hmm.
real about this. I'm a little lazy. I'm very lazy, okay? Because your body will tell you it's a direct indicator of what your priorities are. I'm a big girl, y'all. My priorities are sleeping and eating. I like good food. I like resting, you know? But I say, hey, boo, that's not getting you the thing that you need to get, right? So I got a treadmill. The treadmill is right here. My weight bench is right there. You guys can kind of see it. And I have my weights right there. I know what I need to do to get exactly where I need to go. I don't want to get up every day, go out into the cold, go into a gym with strangers that smell funny. I don't want to do it. So I said, okay, well, how are you going to get this done? I also
Hmm.
don't want to walk out in the dark at 5 a.m. in Shockoe Bottom. I'm sorry. I just don't. And I said, okay, you have to bring the gym to you because now you really have no excuse. Credit Solutionist. So that's what I did. And I said, okay, it's going to be monotonous, but I got to wake up every day. I got to walk on my treadmill while I type away on my computer. And then I got to do my weights and I got to wear my little sweat gear and all that shit. I mean, stuff. And I've literally lost 10 pounds in like 2 weeks.
Yep.
But also, I realized that was a whole lot of inflammation and some water.
Hmm.
So you learn a lot when you start getting into the monotony of things. So I'm saying all that to say, like, if you feel like something's monotonous, okay, that's fine, but you still have to do it. And if there's something that you find is boring, then you have to find a new way to incorporate it. If I'm going to sit here and type or sit here and watch some garbage media, I might as well have my treadmill under my desk while I do it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
That's how you break up the monotony. You can have the monotony, but add a little spice to it. It's like adding a little bit of salt in sugar in something that you're baking that's very sweet. The salt is the thing that makes all the difference. So you have to add something to it. So is there something that you do, Cherie, to add some spice to your monotony? Like how do you stay motivated in the monotony?
When I am working out, sometimes I will listen to a messy podcast, you know.
If I'm gonna be
Um,
messy, no, I'm gonna be quiet after this. But if I want to see some messy stuff, I'm trying not to cuss because girl, it's getting late. I'm trying not to cuss, but if I have to be messy, then I say, okay, get your butt on that treadmill. That desk back there, you guys. Here, actually, if I move, I have a foot
mm-hmm,
massager. Y'all, I'm
mm-hmm.
bougie. I got a foot massager under my desk, my weight bench, my treadmill. Okay. So I have no reason. This is my imaginarium. That's what I call this room. It's my imaginarium. So this is where I imagine, I create, and I even divulge into, I guilty pleasures. I do all of it in here. But I figure if I'm going to get into something, like if I'm watching some red pill gibberish, right? Then I better be burning some calories while I do it.
Right. Or there are some people who will watch a show on Netflix. They'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna watch, whatever show on Netflix," and they get on the treadmill as well. They won't just Netflix and chill. It's like,
Hmm.
no, Netflix and workout, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I've been known to do that.
Hmm.
So for my workouts, I'll be honest with you, I have become a YouTube fitness, like there are some really great fitness instructors on YouTube.
Okay.
And there are a couple that I really like, and they play popular music now. They'll like have Motown or Tina Turner or things like that. And they'll
Hmm.
like, you do low impact aerobics. I'm doing more low impact aerobics these days,
Hmm.
so I don't mess up my knees. But stuff like that,
Same.
like I really enjoy that.
Hmm.
And so that breaks up the monotony with regards to working out. And, with regards to business, I just, again, there will be times sometimes when I will just put on a messy podcast while I'm working.
Hmm.
So I'll be honest. Um, and sometimes I will find other ways to treat myself. But
Hmm.
for the most part, I'm just like, this is my job. My job is doing for my business, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm full time. My job is doing the monotonous thing. Just like if I were going into work
Yeah.
to work, for somebody else,
Hmm.
my job would be to do whatever the job description, and tasks they had for me. So I don't know. I just suck it up. Hey, Mother Shelley.
Yeah, y'all give me one
Hey,
second because I can actually smell something in my kitchen. So give me one second. Y'all
Okay.
go ahead and commiserate talking stuff. I gotta go turn my stove off real
All
fast.
right.
All
All
right,
hello.
right.
hold on.
Hi, everybody. It has.
Hi.
How you doing, Miss Cherie?
I am blessed. Thank you. How are
Mm.
you?
Oh, I am good. Lots going on behind the scenes, but I will be back in full effect very soon.
You've been
Um,
quiet. Yeah, I figured you had a lot going on.
yeah. Just wrapped up some things at home here. Have some finishing touches going on, but all good things, of course. And working on a few other things that's going to be coming to the fore fairly soon. So I will keep you guys posted. Can't really say much
Yes.
just yet, but
All right.
yeah, for the most part, good things. Sometimes the home front takes a lot of your attention. So you focus and kind of get that stuff done and then and get back into the swing of things. So
Yeah.
so far so good. It is definitely, I like the conversation and the direction it's going thus far, although I kind of came in late. Um, I know a lot of us, me included, of course, you're like, I'm sure these people are tired of me talking about this, but the fortunate and unfortunate part about it is if I don't talk about it in my own way, the people that are supposed to be connected to me won't be connected to me if I don't bring the message forth. So I have to always
That's true.
remember that too.
I
Yeah,
just caught
because
the part of what you were saying, but I agree wholeheartedly.
yeah,
Victoria,
you know.
what you over there cooking?
Hmm.
What you over
Mm,
there cooking?
Oh, for listen, I'm a multicultural cook, so I'm making Vietnamese pho. And because I'm going kind of low carb right now, I have, instead of the rice noodles they use, the vermicelli, I'm using shirataki noodles. So
mm.
Oh, that
yeah,
sounds good.
yeah, it's actually really, it is actually really, really good. So but I'm doing that, and I have the broth going, so I had to actually turn the stove off because I'm like, oh, it smells very aromatic in here. Like, oh, that's because of my food. I got to go turn that off because it'll just evaporate into nothing
Oh
if you keep
Lord,
it
no,
simmering.
we don't want that.
But no, that's what I do. So I that's one thing that I actually took on years ago. I believe that cooking is a life skill, and everybody, I don't care male or female, should know how to cook. Like, you got to know how to feed yourself, you know? So it's a big one for me.
It,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
great
been,
life skill.
yeah,
Some
no,
people
it's,
don't see it that way though, but yeah, you're right.
they don't, but I think, no, because I think, honestly speaking, there is something about knowing how to feed yourself, and then also having that skill to eventually feed your friends, family, your community, whoever you break bread with. I think it's a beautiful thing, you know.
Yeah.
um it's just your, it's a love language. So for now, I'm loving on myself, y'all. But I actually had a question for both of you ladies, since I know that you're both in business. When I talked about audacity, to believe that you are something special, or something, a force to be reckoned with, not in a cocky way, but you just know that you were here for a reason. Um, how did you both in your own businesses embrace the audacity to take the risk of putting yourself out there in front of people, both in person and online? Was there something y'all had to overcome, or how did y'all get around any fear?
Um,
And do
there
you
are
still
things.
struggle with it? Do you still struggle with it, whatever the
I
fear was?
mean, there are things that you're well, depending on your upbringing and background and things of that nature, you may have come to that decision based on what it is that you wanted, what you want your life to look like versus what it ended up looking like. if you if
Fact.
you yeah, and the examples you saw growing up. um Being originally from Jamaica, you see a lot of people that are pretty much doing things on their own. And of course, I didn't even, sometimes you don't even realize that you've been a part of these examples till you actually have to take a look back. Because in Jamaica, my dad was a police officer, but he
Mm,
also um, repainted cars on the weekends as a side hustle when I was a
mhm,
kid in Jamaica. My mom went to hairdressing school and had her own parlor. My dad cut half of the garage off at our house in Jamaica and turned it into a beauty shop.
mhm,
As a kid, you grew, and I'm in the parlor, like helping her and turning on the timer and like making sure all of her stuff is stocked. That's me as a little kid, not realizing that entrepreneurial spirit was born from when I was a kid. Now, we migrate to this country when I was fairly young, and life happens, parents get divorced, things of that nature, but the entrepreneurial spirit is still in there somewhere. So even though life happens, there's still like there's more to me than not, there's nothing wrong. Listen, I'm a career coach for a reason. There's nothing wrong with going down a career path and working jobs. Some people jobs are a means to it, and some people that is the lane that they need to stay in. Not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, but I knew for me, I always knew I was going to get my education so I can learn how some of these corporations do it, so that I can use a lot of those systems and processes to create my own. That was always my mindset. So that was something that, even though it may not have happened in a time frame that I wanted it to happen, but I knew that was always going to be my destiny, because that was something that was birthed in me from a very
Mhm.
young age. So it
I got
wasn't
you.
some, yeah. So that's kind of my mindset when it comes to business. You should always have, God bless a child that have his own, so to speak.
Mhm.
So
So is it kind of like you just have an internal belief, regardless of the circumstances and what happens? Like you're believing the thing that you were given, so to speak. Is that what you're saying?
correct.
Okay. Celine had an interesting thing that she's saying at the bottom there. I wanted to speak on it, but I don't feel like preaching tonight.
Girl, why not? Preach.
So it's so funny. I'm not like, all right, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but the struggle with the fear of being seen and heard, I'm going to tell you something, Celine, if you're still here. Um, it's nothing like walking out into the world with real people, flesh and blood beings that you see at the store, at wherever you go, and feeling invisible. And I've definitely felt that before. So I'm going to tell you, if you struggle with the fear of being seen and heard, if you're afraid of people seeing you, what I want you to try, if it ever happens, and I honestly wouldn't wish this on anybody, not even my worst enemy, it's nothing like walking out into the world and feeling invisible. And I'm going to try not to get emotional. I'm glad there's not a lot of people watching this. I went through that very recently. And when I say recently, like literally within the last 1 to 2 years, me, right? And I was still recording videos, still coming on live, but y'all didn't know when I clicked off, I literally felt invisible, like to everybody. And it's so weird because when you get in that mode, you don't realize how debilitating that is. There was a time in my life in the last couple of years where I realized I hadn't been hugged in over 6 months. I cannot tell you the first time somebody hugged me after that period that I recognized that I existed. And I hope that's not going over anybody's head, but it's like if you're by yourself for such a long time and somebody finally touches you and hugs you, you finally understand that you exist and that people see you. I don't think a lot of people have, I don't think a lot of people have felt that before. And I had never felt that before until that moment, but I didn't realize that I was invisible, I was unseen until somebody finally gave me human touch and I was like, "Oh, it was like I got jolted back into reality like, oh y'all, I'm not trying to cuss, but I was like, "Oh my god, I exist. This person sees me and I got a hug." And I could feel their heartbeat like, "Oh my god, I got a hug. I exist." So I'm saying, like, if you're afraid of being seen, no, you want to be seen because that is a indicator to you that you exist. You're making connections. So never want to be invisible. Never be afraid of people seeing you. I feel like we're on this screen right now. I don't know who's come in, who's come out, done whatever they've done, but I know that this is part of me knowing that I'm seen, knowing that I'm human. It kind of keeps me in the flow of everything. I think that being seen is very important to the human experience. And I think every single one of us deserves to be seen, heard, touched, because these are things that keep you going and make you realize that you were actually here for a reason or you are here for a reason. So again, I'm not going to go too deep into the feeling, but it's very isolating to walk into a room full of people and still feel like you're not seen. As loud as I am and as confident as I get, like I really went through this dark period, you know? Whereas black as this screen looks around our pictures, that is literally what my existence was until somebody hugged me. I literally went to my back to my apartment that night and cried like a baby because I was like, "Oh my god, I hadn't realized I hadn't been hugged in that many months." And I'm a hugger. So, that's all I'm gonna say. Again, and again, I'm moving in a direction in this channel where I'm gonna start being honest. Not about well, listen, y'all ain't gonna be all up in my business, but but I feel like I need to be honest because leaving home, it's been different, you guys. Like it's been good sometimes and it's been isolating sometimes. But in the isolation, I recognize that only I have the control because I am that person that will look at you in the store and say, "Hey, what's up? Oh, that's a cool product that you're getting. What's up with that? Oh, wow. Yeah, like I haven't tried that." I'm that weirdo that's going to walk up to you in the store. And I've accepted that I am that person because your average person doesn't have the guts, or even everybody's in their own head when they're out and about. But there's few of us that will walk up to a stranger and say hello. And I've accepted that I'm one of those people. I will walk up to you and say hello. I will walk up to you and compliment your shirt because I know what it feels like to walk into a grocery store even and feel like I have a cloak of invisibility. I feel like nobody sees me. And yeah, that's been a thing for me. I have to know I exist. I need that constant reinforcement. And I know that your average person is not going to give me that. So sometimes I have to reach out to get it. And a lot of people have been very receptive to that because they feel the same thing that I feel. They're just waiting for somebody to say something. So I want to tell Celine, please do your best to get over that because you being seen is what is actually going to pivot you and change your life. You need to be seen. What do y'all think about that? Like,
Well, I took her comment a little bit differently. First of all, thanks for
okay,
being so vulnerable. Um,
girl, listen, I'm about to cut that off because look,
but well, you had a different perspective when you read her comment than I did. Sometimes people are afraid to be seen and heard because they are afraid of the response that they're going to get. Oftentimes, people are afraid that the person is going to, you know, be nasty to them or yell at them or be dismissive or things like that. And the truth is that 95% of people are good people, right? They're
Hmm.
not going to, say anything mean to you. They're not going to bother you. They're going to be respectful in return, etc. So, uh, sometimes it is, that fear is unfounded with regards to how you think people are going to treat you. The other thing is the super majority of people, they will be courteous to you, but they really are not thinking about you beyond being courteous to you. So, they're not going home thinking, that's Celine. What an idiot. She said hello to me. Or that
No,
Victoria, she
exactly.
walked up to me in the store and asked me about the food in my
that's
basket. What an
facts.
idiot. Like, people aren't even thinking about us like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Hmm.
just kind of, um, you know, I, I, I I recognize that people are not thinking about me in the way that I think they're thinking about me. So, um,
Okay, I like that.
yeah, and you do, Celine, want to make connections, Um, connections can be friendships, it can be colleagues, it can be people in your community. We do, when people say we need to touch grass, that is true. We need to go outside. We need to have a network beyond what's online because just being online is not healthy.
Mm-mm.
Just being
It's
online
not.
is not healthy. So,
It's not.
yeah.
Um, I just wanted to add to that, Celine. I guess everybody had picked or understood something or took something different from it based on their filter and their lens. Um, the only person that can show up the way you can show up is you. And don't ever take that for granted.
Mhm.
And your unique style, voice, message, whatever that may be, there's somebody waiting for it. And if you don't express it, how are they going to hear it? Do it afraid. Do it anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. None of us up here started off from a brave place. Let me tell you. None of us started off our YouTube channels. Oh, we wanted to start this business. Oh, well, part of what we have to do is get on here and make videos and talk about different things and market and talk to people. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm naturally an introverted person. But guess what? I had to take that step out.
Wait, I
I
have
said,
two
okay.
Cheries. Which one is the real one?
Hmm.
You popped on 2 times, Cherie. Did something happen?
Oh,
Yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong button,
uh-oh.
but I didn't
I was like,
realize that.
girl, we got a Cherie imposter. Like, what's going on
Yeah.
over here? You know, don't be
No.
impersonating my girl. Shoot.
We can't have that.
Um,
But yeah,
Often
just be
imitated,
you.
never duplicated.
But never,
Okay.
never, never.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cherie, because Shelly talked about this. I think Celine might be on the precipice of making a move. I'm getting the sense that she's been pondering something for a while, and she's kind of letting us know where she's at. So the do it afraid. Can you guys speak to that? Because I know everything I do it afraid. Right before I press live on this screen, I felt a little tingle in my left foot. That's how I know if I'm nervous about something. But how do y'all overcome doing something afraid?
Just take action. Just do it.
Can y'all
I
touch
think
on
that's
any?
easier said than done.
Yeah, can you
So
guys touch on something recently that you remember that you did feeling fear or nervousness and how you pushed through it?
I have to make cold calls in my business to different realtors, and um, there is nothing like. So it's easier said than done to just say do it afraid. That's the reason
Okay.
why I said that.
Okay.
But it is about taking the first step, whatever the first step is. So for me, the first step is the first call. And who am I going to call? What am I going to say to them? Like having bullet points. So I do think there is something to some preparation. Now, I'm not saying analysis paralysis, but I am saying preparation with regards to like whatever it is that you need to do, afraid, whatever it is that you are needing to do if you're afraid. Is it because you don't know what you're going to do at all? Like, do you have at least the first step kind of thought out a little bit? And then from there, is there somebody you can do it with? Right? So, when I have to make my calls, I make it on a group with a group of people. We're all in Zoom, we're all a part of this mastermind group, etc. Can you have a buddy system with somebody where they're doing, you know, whatever it is, and both of you are doing it together? Um, I I might flush out a little bit more with this, but I do think that um, we're guilty of this on social media and things like that because we just want people to go ahead and do it afraid. But I do think that there are some, um, what do you call it? Strategies
Hmm.
that people can put in place in order to do it afraid. Um, I'd have to sit with it a bit, but
Mm,
I don't think it's enough to just say do it, right? I think that
mm.
that there does need to be some sort of direction with regards to how people actually do things afraid.
Do you know the difference between when you're afraid and when you're just excited about something?
Excited?
Mhm. Because they sort of feel the same to me when I'm afraid
Right.
versus excited. It does typically, I get kind of a feeling in my stomach. I get a little tingly. I get a lot in my in my arms, my forearms is where I feel it. I have felt that when I was excited, and I've also felt that when I was afraid. So, have you developed any kind of skill set to know the difference between the two, fear and
Mm,
excitement?
no,
Hmm.
not personally.
I got you. So, when it comes to pushing through, are you more like, okay, I'm not just going to push through and do it, but I am going to step back and observe the situation, look at all possible outcomes before moving forward in the fear? Is that kind of what you're saying?
It depends on what it is. So
Okay.
I'm going to talk about business just because I have the
Mhm.
better example for it. I
Okay.
used to tell people that if you're spending more than $1,000 to start a business, then
Mhm.
you really should have things planned out, right? So I would have people come to me and they would want to start a restaurant. A
Mhm.
restaurant take $250,000 to get up and running. By the
Mhm.
time you get the property or get the lease, get all the food, the equipment, things like that. Well, for something like that, like you have to have a plan, right?
Mhm.
um but if it's just like, hey, I'm gonna come on YouTube, and spend maybe $100 to $200 getting equipment, I gotta get a,
Mhm.
a microphone, some decent lights, blah blah blah. That's when I'm like, okay, just come up with 5 topics you want to talk about and go, right?
Right.
So I do think that there are times when planning, more planning makes more sense than
Mhm.
other times. And the way that I would say it to people is, if you make a mistake, how quickly can you bounce back? Making a $200 mistake on
Mhm.
a YouTube channel, unless you're spitting like craziness, like, well, just say craziness, you can
I
bounce
know, like,
back.
girl, don't be name dropping.
Well, yeah. So there are some people who will lose their job over their TikTok channels. I'm not talking about that,
Mhm.
right?
No,
Right.
I'm
no.
just talking about just like regular, like, here's advice, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Anybody could bounce back from a $200 mistake. I started this YouTube channel and it stopped working, right?
Right.
So that's kind of where I make the separation.
Mm.
Okay. What about you, Mentor Shelley? How do you push through the fear or the doubt or because it can be pretty debilitating. So, how do you follow through with an idea that you have and have the faith that it is the right direction to move in? Like, what do you do in those moments?
Mm. That's what I do. If I okay, because I have been accused of having analysis paralysis before, because I'm a process type of person. So of course I said, okay, well, what's the process for this? Or let me understand this concept. I want to do this, but what's the process? So step one, two, three, four, five, six. That's how my brain works.
Yep.
It just is what it is.
Mhm.
So I will have the process in place and just be like, I'm afraid to do this. I said, okay, let's not
Okay.
make this more difficult than it needs to be. If it's something more concrete, then of course I'm going to, pull for additional resources. But for
Mhm.
the most part, if it's something as simple as, okay, my first YouTube video was crap, but I had to do it afraid and it got done. It wasn't perfect,
Mhm.
but it was done.
Yeah.
Um, my first speech when I was in college, in community college, when I was what, 18, 19 years old.
Mhm.
I sweat under my armpits, were completely wet because I was deathly afraid of speaking in front of people. I sing in front of people all the time as a kid because I was in choirs and I've done solos. Singing
Mhm.
is not the problem. Talking in front of people, I was deathly afraid of that until I did a speech class in college. And I was definitely afraid of doing that, but I got it done. It wasn't the greatest, obviously. I'm a lot better at it now than I was then, because that was
Mhm.
years ago. You're talking 10, 20 years ago. But at the end of the day, it wasn't, you're not going to always have the bravery to start something, especially when you're not used to it. The more you do it, the better you get at it. That doesn't
Mhm.
mean you still don't get that little pit in your stomach when you do something that you're inherently not used to doing, but you're doing it to promote your business, or you're doing it to better yourself as a person, or in business, and whatever capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So in my personal life, and in my professional life, I've had to do presentations on numerous occasions. Of course, I'm nervous, whether I'm doing it over the web or I'm doing it in person. I'm in front of 20, 30 people. Now, the same person that had armpits in her stomach now has to, in my professional life, I have to do presentations every week because I conduct orientation for where I work. So
Right.
that was a stepping stone to, well, this is going to be part of my life, presenting and being in front of a group of people, presenting information and communicating and interacting and
Mm-hmm.
learning crowd control and all of these things. This is a part of my career now. Who would have thunk it? Because when I first started, when I was in college initially, I was in college for physical therapy.
I didn't know that about you, ma'am.
Yes, that was my initial major.
No
So
way.
exactly. So that's what I said. It's like you never know what the future may hold. So
Yeah.
that initial speech class, and then further down the line, I was a part of Toastmasters, and just different avenues and areas along the way, developing, communication in front of people. And YouTube, believe it or not, has helped with that as well.
It
But I
does.
didn't start off being the professional. You're not going to start off in the best light, but the more you do it, the better you get.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I say do it afraid, that's what I'm talking about. You might be deathly afraid of talking in front of people because, of course, they say giving a speech is one of the most feared things on planet Earth for human Homo sapiens. But you got to get it done, and done is better than not done. Because done, you can at least look at what you did, make improvements, do it better next time.
Facts. And as you're talking, I'm like, it's so insane that, and this is why I say we're each given a divine code, like divine coding. I feel like we could learn a lot from technology, right? Because it's really just an imitation of what we are. It's like um when you say getting up in front of a room and speaking. Shelly, okay, I just realized Shelly has actually seen me speak in front of people, right? Like she's seen me at a public speaking event, right?
Yes,
And
in
and
person.
yes, and I will tell you, like getting in front of a group of people, it does not scare me.
Mhm.
And I was just telling somebody this the other day, and they looked at me like I was an alien, y'all. And I was like, look, if I could just get in front of some people, stand up in front of a room and just talk, I am at ease.
Yeah.
And
As long as it's
somebody,
a topic you know about.
no,
Oh
I
yeah.
swear it was like somebody told me that too. And they were like, that's a fear that a lot of people have. And I said, I'll be honest with you. I have more fear talking over an intimate dinner than I do getting in front of an audience. Like an audience of people in a room, I get their energy. But the intimate stuff is a little more, it's a challenge for me. But and that, to me, what I'm saying is that it speaks to how differently we're all programmed, to where that's a strength that I have. But maybe someone else is better at the intimate things, the one-on-one, and
Mhm.
my voice was a thing. And I said it yesterday, my voice, the tonality, the everything about it, I hated it as a kid. It's only now that I'm in my big age that I love my voice, and I'm going to use it and use it until it's gone. And I don't care if anybody likes it or not. I'm still going to do it because I don't know, like something in me is like, you have to speak. You have to, like, this is what you're meant to do. You just got to figure out what capacity you're meant to use it in. Right. So I've tapped into that finally. Um, but yeah, it's different. It's like you said, Shelly, and it's like you have to make these different, you have to dive and delve into these different avenues in your life to know that it's not for you. Like I would have never thought Shelly was into no darn physical therapy.
I know.
Like I okay, because I done stayed at this woman's house and everything, y'all. She ain't that woman ain't no physical therapist. We know her gift is somewhere else.
Glad I figured that out while I was still in college.
Girl, because I'm like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. We gonna talk because I'm gonna see you in a couple weeks. We gonna talk.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, you these things, and I typically I tend to believe that the thing that is you and is for you is the thing that you shied away from as a young person. It's the thing that people told you, hey, you're too this, you're too that. No, that is actually your gift, because what it is about you, it probably just has to be fine tuned and chiseled into the diamond that it's meant to be. But it's like what you something about you has triggered something in them. So I say, look at the positive of what somebody's telling you not to do. Do y'all mind if I look at the comments and then you guys can give your input on what you see on the screen?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. And I'm gonna have to go pretty soon as
Girl,
well.
I know because you be commanding your time. That's why I was like, ooh, let me keep her as long as I can. Because y'all, Cherie don't play about her time. Um, okay, so Celine says that she definitely has an accountability partner, which is great. That is great. But also, Celine, I want to encourage you if you're still here. Thank you for stopping by the way. I appreciate you being here. Um, you are your own accountability partner. And also, if you have family, if you believe in a higher power, keep yourself accountable to those entities and people as well. I keep myself accountable by this here. And I have a mindfulness journal. And you see, I'm the credit solutionist. I'm a budgetnista. I got it on sale. Okay. But I keep myself accountable by writing in this book every single day. And I have to do one time in the morning, one time at night. So that's something that I do, and I'm going to, keep going in my life because it really makes me get centered and keep myself accountable. Um, the other thing I was going to say is that, again, you are your own best friend in this sense, Celine. Nobody is going to make you get up and do the thing you need to do because this is your life. So I want you to always remember that. Do not always rely on other people, because there will be days that those people will not show up for you. If that friend is having a hard time, she may not have the mental bandwidth to come and check on you. So always remember the goal and keep yourself accountable. So I just wanted to say that to Celine, because what if you're in a situation like I am? I don't have any friends in Richmond, right? I'm developing my social circle now. I don't have anybody to keep me accountable except for myself. That's why I have my treadmill here. And you have to find ways to keep yourself accountable. Um, okay, so what is Samri saying? Samri Bliss. One of the issues that keeps me going back to work for others is inconsistency. I have a podcast and Patreon that made some money, but I give up too fast. What do you guys think Samri is suffering from? If
Oh boy.
I
We
I
talked
say
about it earlier.
perfectionism, but
Well, I
I
don't,
sense perfectionism in this. That's what
yeah.
I sense. But
I don't know about well, I don't know enough about Sam Ree. I've heard one of her podcasts before.
okay,
This is us talking about doing the
okay,
boring and the monotonous long term. This is exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Um, because the truth is, and I said it earlier, you will get tired of your message and repeating yourself over and over again long before everybody else does.
mm,
So, when we're starting these podcasts, when we're starting these Patreons, when we're starting, our coaching like you're doing with your debt coaching and your
mm-hmm,
mental health, money mental health coaching, Victoria,
mm-hmm,
you're going to like starting it with the mindset of, I'm going to preach the same thing for the next 10 years. Like Dave Ramsey has been saying the same darn thing for the last 30 years. And yet
Yep.
somebody will call him tomorrow and ask the same question he's been answering for 30 years. But guess what? The man has built an empire on that.
Sure has.
Tyler Perry has given us the same crappy script for the past 20 years, and yet the man is a billionaire, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like, so it is about us having the mindset of, in order for me to be truly successful in business, I
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that business is going to be boring. Business is simple, but it's not easy. It's about doing the same two or three things and doing it over and over and over again in
Mm-hmm.
order to be successful. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull up Samry's page because I wanted to see what they were talking about here. And I just overshare. I'm gonna overshare something with you right now, Samry. I am a lifelong eczema sufferer. So a lot of people don't know that because I have it under control now, but I still have flare-ups every now and then. I say that because I see you have a lot of that on your channel. So I can tell you already there is somebody that needs your assistance, girlfriend, and that would be me. So whatever you're thinking that you want to keep doing, I say don't doubt yourself. Go ahead and keep pushing with whatever you're trying to do. So um just try, keep keep pushing, because you're gonna find your stride and you're gonna figure out what it is that you actually need to be doing. So I just wanted to share that with Samri. I was looking at her, like at her page right now, and there's something there for sure. But thank you for that information, Cherie. We only have like two more comments here. And then I think we should be good. Who am I looking at, y'all? Real quick. I got to become a better conversationalist and speaking off the dome. I was always the kid that forgot his East still rocks.
Still rock. Hmm.
Well, hey, if you're that kid, that's okay. But that's when you have to just in interject with your actual personality, and I honestly can't tell you how many times somebody's told me that I'm too much. Somebody very recently found it very entertaining to keep telling me, "Oh, you're so long-winded. You're so long-winded." Yeah, I know. That's why I have a YouTube channel, doofus. Because I talk a lot. Hello. But as I go on, I am starting to see the cues, social cues, when I've gone on for too long, right? It's hard to see that when you're on video, but in person I can tell, like, "Oh, I think I've been talking too long. Let me be quiet now. Let me let them say something. Take a breath, take a beat." So I understood, even though he was, and it was a man, he was saying it to be rude. He was saying it because he wanted to bring me down a couple of pegs, right? And those things are going to happen. So this is directed at you, Still Rocks, but people are going to say things to you in the form of an insult. And you have to just say, okay, this is a person that is clearly unhappy in some aspect of their life, because who would tell somebody something just to knock them down, like that's messed up, because there's a constructive way to tell a person they talk a lot, right? And you have to take what they're saying, and then you have to then for yourself create the constructive criticism, if that makes sense. Take the insult, but take the constructive part of it, because there's probably some truth in what that person is saying. It Am I making sense, y'all? It's like they're insulting you so they feel better, but there could be some truth in what they're saying, so just make it constructive.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, because I could tell this person just wanted to insult me, because like maybe they just didn't feel good that day, and it was like, oh, this is not a Victoria problem, this is a them problem. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? I'm like, go punch a wall or something. Like, don't come at me crazy. um and who cares if you forget your Easter speech? Just fill it in with something else. You're up on the stage, nobody else is. They have no guts to get up there and do what you're doing, so keep it going, and I'll be quiet. But okay, so there's a few more comments. Cherie, don't be letting us keep you, girl, because you know I'll hold on to you all night, girlfriend. Pause, y'all. Okay, it ain't like that.
No, no. You said you had a couple of more, so I was
Mhm.
gonna hang on enough for
Okay, yeah,
that.
yeah, we're almost done. So with Still Rocks, I want to just say that like no, you keep pushing. Part of the mentorship stuff that I'm doing with the kids here in Richmond is to give them a voice. Like I want them to speak. I want them to understand that they matter and they have something to contribute. I don't care what they go through when they go home in the sense that okay, I care like I don't want bad things to happen to them when they go home. But when they're in my presence, I want them to know I create a space for them to speak freely, to speak eloquently. I want them to learn to not speak to respond, but speak to really contribute something. That is what I'm trying to teach these young people. Don't be like me when I was younger and have people tell me, oh, your voice is too monotonous. Oh, your voice is too monotone. Oh, your voice is too deep. Well, guess what? After doing a lot of research, I find that people tend to listen to voices that are deeper. People actually pay attention to voice, especially female voices, when they're deeper. It either has to be a baby tone with a female, or it has to be very deep. Okay, I want you to look at Alex Hormozy's wife. I'm not going to say what I want to say, but she has a very deep voice that I was questioning for a while, but people love
I'm
her.
glad I wasn't the only one. I'm
Girl, her voice is deep. Her voice is deeper than his.
Wow.
Let's be honest. But people tune in and they listen to her, right? So that's my thing. It's like if you feel like you got something to say, you keep at it. I might get down in the dumps about somebody insulting me every now and then, you guys. Yes, that's human. That means that's just my indicator that I'm human. But then I recognize, wait, I have 11,100 subscribers on YouTube. I have a business. I got up and drove across the country and started another life. What have you done? What
Hmm.
have you done? You know, I really start to think about those things. I'm like, what have you done that gives
Yeah.
you license to come on here and tell me about myself? What have you done? Show me your records, right? No, you have an avatar. No, you have you're a faceless person. You might even be a bot for all I know.
Mm.
That's all I'm gonna say. I go that deep into it, y'all, because I gotta remind myself, you know. Who else? I love journaling. Yes, please do. Please, Barnes and Nobles, guys. And I remember even Erica did this for a while. I don't know if you guys remember, but she was selling the mindfulness calendars and books and things because her thing was she struggled with, and most entrepreneurs struggle with keeping themselves accountable and getting their thoughts in order. Because as an entrepreneur, it's crazy. You get these downloads late at night, early in the morning, and you just want to do 1,000 things at once. But you have to center yourself. For me, I have to stop and write. That's my thing. That's my thing. So figure out your thing, stay consistent. You'll discover who you are in the process. Yes, thank you, Celine, for coming through. Hey, Carla J. I've never seen your name before, and you're so glad you caught alive, which means you clearly know me from somewhere else or another video. So, or one of us in this live stream. That is awesome. And this is what I'm talking about, you guys. Comments like this, they let you know, even though people don't always say things, they're watching you. They're watching. So keep at it, you guys. Carly, you're never late. Honey, you're right on time. You're right on time because now you know Credit Solutionist, she's a real lady. Mentor Shelly is a real person. Cherie over at Black Women Making Money is a real person. Okay, we're here, we're accessible. So that's the beauty of this thing. And I'm making a pledge tonight. Cherie and Mentor Shelly, keep me accountable. I want to do a live stream between now and this time next year that has at least 100 people watching.
bet.
Okay, do y'all think that's possible? And I'm gonna say,
Absolutely.
do you think it's possible for all of us to have that on our channels?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh
Speak
my
that
God.
into existence. Thank you, Lord. All right.
Oh my God. So okay, let that be proof to everybody watching, all six of y'all. And like two of them are right here. So all four of y'all that are not on the screen right now. I will, oh my God. And these are the kind of friends y'all need. You need people that literally they did not hesitate. Did y'all notice that? Cherie and oh my, you guys. Oh my God. No, you have no idea. That just touched my heart so much. My heart will explode the day I see 100 on here. Wow. I don't know if I'd even be able to contain myself, y'all. Okay.
It may come sooner than you think, darling.
Girl, and I'm learning consistency is key, you guys, and that's what I
True.
learned this week. And
True.
I'm gonna keep going. I don't, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, watch replays but never comment, and a lot of people are like that. And what I want to do at this channel is create a safe space where even if you disagree with something that I'm saying, I want to hear your side. I want you to leave a chat if you have to, or come on and speak with me. You don't have to show your face, but I want to talk to you and not necessarily challenge your beliefs, but I want to give you the space to tell me why it is that you've been convinced that you cannot have the thing that you want in this life. Why you've been convinced that you should stop um, going for the thing that you want, or not even allowing yourself the freedom and the space and the creativity to write down your dream. Have you even given yourself that kind of freedom to write it down? Because a lot of people are afraid to say, I want to make $1 million. Why are you afraid to say that? I want to have 5 kids even though I'm 40. Why are you afraid to say that? Say it. What's going to happen if you say it out loud? Yeah, a couple people might laugh at you. Okay, they don't see your vision. Big deal. If you're into biblical stuff, nobody thought the storm was coming, and Noah said, hey, it is, and I'm just going to build the ark and do what I do. I'm sharing that for just for context, you guys. I'm not a Bible thumper, but it's like nobody thought Amazon was going to be what it is. The guy that created Calendly, who's a black man, by the way, he didn't think Calendly was going to be what it was. He just thought it was, something cool that he put together. Now, Calendly is a way for me to get some money. Whoever created YouTube, they didn't think, they probably, I don't know, they probably thought it was going to be this big, but I don't think that they did. I'm gonna say this and I'll leave it at that, and we can do final thoughts, and you ladies can go, because I'll keep you all night. Everything in this room right now that I'm looking at, everything on this screen right now, this microphone, the hair, these little extensions, these earrings, everything around you is a thought. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and I'll keep it as simple as possible. Someone thought about this design of this necklace. It didn't just appear out of thin air. Somebody had to actually think of this design one day. Somebody had to think about the design of this microphone. Someone had to think about the technology that has my voice transmitting to your eardrums right now. Somebody had to think about everything you see in this room. The apartment that I'm in, it was an architect's idea one day. The paint on the walls, the recipe was somebody's idea. And it was just them going in and taking the steps to make their thought a reality. So when you hear thoughts become things, that is what they mean. This cup was a thought. You are walking around in a world of thoughts and consciousness. I am not going to get more woo-woo than that. But everything around you was a thought that became a thing. And it only became a thing because somebody took the first step to make the thing exist. Am I
And
wrong
somebody
here?
and somebody had the audacity, going back to your audacity, to believe
Mhm.
it could be done.
Yes.
and tapped into the resources and the other people that they needed for the things they couldn't do themselves, right?
Correct.
That's right.
Girl. So
That's why I say that's
that's
why I
it.
say your soft skills and your networks are more important than your technical skills.
Thank you, Cherie.
That's the
Thank
truth.
girl. Sometimes I be thinking I'm alone in this. Thank you. Thank you,
You
girl.
No,
are
it's the
not.
truth. It's the
You
truth.
just gave me some confirmation. Okay, but before you go, Shelly and Cherie. Shelly, I don't know if I talked to you about it yet, but I want to have you ladies on because I think we all have a different perspective about cohabitation and funds and whether or not it helps your financial bottom line or not. And I want to have a panel where we all come on and talk about it.
Cohabitation, depending on the circumstances of cohabitation, or cohabitation just as a subject matter.
Listen here, girl, it's gonna be whatever you bring to the table. It's gonna be a mixed bag.
Okay.
Just really, if you see the positives of it, the negatives, how it's affected your life, if you want to talk about it. I have a
Mm.
gazillion, I have so much input because, girl, it's time, okay? Because I know that a lot of people relate to some of the things that you, me, or Cherie, or anybody has experienced, and they may not feel that they have a place to discuss those things. And we'll share up until a point that we
Mhm.
feel comfortable with. But um, I feel that for me, I know it's time to tell part of my story with that. Um,
Mhm. Mm.
yeah, because I've been thinking about how I got here, and how
Mhm.
I could literally be somebody's baby's mama.
Oh Lord. No.
Girl, just annoyed with life. And I'm not, so I want to talk about that. And hopefully we can save some young women and men and really help them make some better choices.
Hmm.
I really think we can because we all have
Okay.
something to
Mhm.
bring to the table. So
Yeah.
I will let you ladies know, but probably a Friday or a Saturday or something like that, we can get together and chat about it and be pretty candid as we can. So that's the next one, and that's gonna be messy. In the words of my girl Cherie, it's gonna be a messy
Yes. A
topic.
messy, a
Please.
messy money topic. Yes.
Yes, I think
Oh
I think
yes.
we all have a
Cause
lot to
I,
contribute.
cause I want to talk about people getting houses together when you are not married and all.
Mm.
Yeah, look,
All of it,
like if you,
girl.
if you give us a week's notice, yes, your girl will come in and bring the mess.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
Co
definitely.
co-signing for people. Ooh,
Woo.
ooh, ooh, mm.
Listen here, there's some personal experiences that will definitely bring some colorfulness to the subject for sure.
Mhm.
And names will be redacted to protect the innocent and the guilty. Okay.
You better
Mhm.
Um,
say that again. Protect the innocent and the guilty. I
Girl,
got it.
really to protect the guilty because I already know we all three got some stories.
Look,
Okay.
look. We all
Woo.
did it when we were dumb, young and dumb.
Well,
Mm-mm.
okay, and we're gonna change some of our phrasing. We were young and uninformed.
Mhm.
No, I was young and
Mhm.
dumb.
No,
I was. Cherie was young and dumb. Okay.
I was
No,
so
no.
young and
no. You're talking
naive
about
in my case.
uninformed.
I was naive, I was young, uninformed, and I was in love. Oh, the
Mm.
butterflies, you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, ladies,
Um,
each one of you, I know Cherie, of course, you've been very active, very like um I don't want to say boisterous because I feel like that's the wrong word, but you are a very strong force in these YouTube streets and in your professional life. So, and Shelly as well. Tell the folks what you do, where to find you, and all that good stuff.
So I have a channel called Black Women Making Money.
Mhm.
And we talk about how to make money, how to make more money, how to invest, how to become entrepreneurs. And tomorrow's Small Business Saturday. So I'll be on live tomorrow.
I got you. Girl, you was talking too fast. I was trying to show you a page. Look at
Mhm.
here. But yeah, Cherie, don't let me hold you, girlfriend. You know I'll go on forever and ever. But
Yeah,
here's her
look, I
page.
get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah,
Mm,
Ooh.
that's
yeah,
dedication. We don't talk about
that's
that on the
us.
live.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All right,
Um,
ladies. Good night.
you good?
All
You
right.
too. Good
Have a
night,
good night. Thank you
Sheree.
so much for coming on, Cherie. I appreciate you.
Of
All right.
course, I am Mentor Shelley, Dream Career Coach, and HR consultant. I do provide HR consultants for small businesses, as well as career coaching services from soup to nuts, whether you want help with your resume or help putting your whole employment profile together in a professional sense, working on all kinds of things career wise. I'm here to help coach you through all of those things. You can find me at Mentor Shelley on YouTube, mentorshelley.com, the website, on TikTok, Instagram. If you want to leave me a personal message, you can go to mentorshelley.com/contact, where you can leave an email or voicemail message. And I'm more than happy to respond to you. If you definitely want to work with me one on one, you can go to mentorshelley.com/consultations. And we work one on one to either get your career or your business in tip top shape.
And y'all can see she has a whole lot of content here. So you can go over to her channel
Mhm,
and spend a little bit of time, baby. So that's the
mhm.
beauty of it. We're making connections here, you guys. We are living proof that if you just keep going, be consistent, please get over your fears. Stop worrying about what people have to say about you. It's all about what you believe about you at the end of the day. And I want each one of you to start to even feel even a little pinch of the audacity that I feel in my soul right now, and the audacity I know Shelly has, and Cherie, and all the other people that I know out in the cyber streets and in the real world, that really just took a chance on themselves. You got one life to live, you guys. You gotta make it happen. And like I said yesterday, I do not care what you've been through. You are not your experiences. You are the person that observed the experience, right? I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it's like, yeah, some messed up, crazy things have happened. That's okay. But the beauty is, are you still here with me, girl?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Mhm,
But yeah, like, and Shell, I guess I want to say this before we head out, but it's like, um, because you and I have conversations,
mhm.
and I'm gonna be real with y'all. Shelly be letting me go off. Cause sometimes I be talking to Shelly, I be going off, and then I be hanging up the next day. I be like, I can't believe I said that to Shelly. Oh my God. I don't be cussing her out, but yeah, I just be talking about life. Like, oh man, like I can't believe this happened. Da, 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 da. She just be listening. Yeah, she just be listening.
Oh
Shelly,
boy.
don't laugh at me, Shell.
I don't know what it is that you have to number one, if you can't be yourself with your friends, who you gonna be yourself with?
No, but
Um
Shell, that's how I know. I'm like, oh crap. I was like, all right, this girl is my friend now.
you
Okay. All right, because I'll be going off. Yeah. Like, I
couldn't get rid of
swear.
me if you tried. But
I,
anyway,
I swear.
um,
Oh man.
at the end of the day, we have to succeed at being our ever best selves, and a lot of that is sometimes going through things, realizing things about ourselves, working on ourselves on all levels, as well as and sometimes listening to truth you're not ready to hear, but it's ready for you to hear.
Hmm.
That's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. Sometimes you don't want to hear certain things, but it's time for you to hear, not only hear it, but put it into action so you can become better. And it may
That's
not come in
fact.
the and it may not come in the form that you expect. Be like, I didn't want to hear
Girl.
this, but it's time for you to hear it. So,
And I
um,
yeah. And
yeah.
also, I think the other thing that's really important that I wanna, I guess, leave everybody with. Shell, are you
Mhm.
okay going on for a couple more minutes?
Sure, no problem.
Okay. Because what I was gonna say, and it's so funny that we're having this conversation right now because I thought about saying these things to you earlier. And like I said, yes, I be going off, y'all. Like Shell really be, she sits there and she listens to me, right? Very patient. And because I go into my modes, and the interesting thing I can say is that one thing that Shelly does that I think you all need to treasure in the people that you know is that it is a blessing to have people in your corner that will tell you the truth far before you can see it. Far before you can see it. And I feel that we do that for each other. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And because sometimes like you'll say something or you'll see something way before I do. And what do I
Mhm.
tell you? And I'm gonna see if you remember like this weird thing that I have, this stubbornness that I have in me. But tell them, because I think Celine might not be here anymore. But when you tell me, hey, I don't think you should do that, or I don't think you should talk to that person, or what do I tell you, Shelly? If you can remember, I don't know if you remember, but
uh,
what is the main thing I always tell you? I'd be like, I hear you, Shelly, but
but you sometimes on some levels make the decision to um that's the best way of putting this.
she about to
uh,
tell on me. Let me mute myself.
she makes the decision to continue conversations or continue conversing with a person um that I've probably had some experience with people like that in the past. So I may see something, everybody's wisdom is in different places.
Hmm.
So I may pick up on a red flag faster in certain situations, maybe than other people. And it might be different. She may pick up on red flag that I'm not seeing in other
Hmm.
situations. So, everything is different. But at the end of the day, she makes a choice to continue that that action or that connection when I already see that deep down that's not what you want, sis. that,
Oh
that
my God!
that's not what
Wow,
you want. That ain't what you want.
girl.
That's gonna cause undue harm in another week, month, year, whatever. But until sometimes there are situations and circumstances that we choose to learn in different ways,
Hmm.
and that's okay. At the end of the day, as long as you're not shielding yourself from learning, that's the
Hmm.
most important part. As long as you
Yeah,
learn and grow, at the end of the day, you'll be better off in the line. But there are some things that sometimes, how some people say, I'd rather learn from other people's lessons.
facts. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
at the end of the day, we live, we learn, and we grow. And the experiences we have, whether good or bad, are putting us in a position to become a better version of ourselves. So,
Absolutely. And yeah, and I'm saying on a public platform in front of these 7 people, but no, it's like I appreciate that you give me the space to be myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sharing this with everybody just to make it very clear. You have to get out there and you have to communicate with people because Shelly and I don't live where Shelly lives and she doesn't live where I live. But for whatever reason, the universe saw it fit that she and I cross paths. And I got to say, like, my life has been better since then. And these are the things that I want to be able to say out loud before I go. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, this is what I'm talking about, overcoming the fears and saying the things that you need to say to the people that you need to. And yeah, like she gives me that freedom. I say crazy off the wall stuff. Get a friend that you can talk like that to, that you can just say what you need to say and they'll say, okay, well, I think this, and that. And they give you the freedom and the space to say, you know what? I hear you, friend. Because this is exactly what I tell Shelly all the time. I say, girl, I hear you. But girl, I think I'm gonna have to see this through to the end.
That's the key phrase right there.
How many times have I said that to you? I've said, Shell, I'll be like, girl, I hear you, but I gotta see it through to the end, sister.
Oh,
So
oh boy. Okay.
I'm like, the only thing I ask is just please be there because I know I'm gonna fall on my face, but please be there when I do. That's all I ask. And thank you for your time. Okay. But
Good
that's what I'm
Lord.
saying. But no, I really wanted to just tie that in, really
Yeah.
to close out because I don't know, girl. I woke up this morning feeling like I knew I had to say that to you, and
Oh,
I I appreciate that, and it's that's very hard to come by. So I think that if y'all are ever just worried about whether or not you're making the right decision, um, keep moving forward. And if you're able to find a good set of people or a good person that can hear you, hear your fears, hear your dreams, and all that, and kind of just give you that support, just that
yeah.
little gentle push that you need, value those people and tell them that you value them, and then keep moving forward. Okay. It looks like we
Yeah.
got one more comment and then I think we can close out here. Um yes, it is. And I will say, don't be trying to steal Shelly from me, okay? Excuse you, Celine. No, just kidding. But no,
He's
no, no,
so,
really. No,
he's so
seriously.
silly.
No, seriously. And I mean, we'll talk about it someday, I'm
Mhm.
sure. But like I said, yeah, we just honestly, who knows, like I don't know. You never know who you're gonna meet, okay?
That's
And
true.
again, Shelly, you're going to the event on the 24th, right? Or 25th, is
Correct.
it?
One of those
Okay.
things.
Yeah, so I just got, everything's all settled and all that junk. So we're definitely gonna hang out. But
Yeah.
so yeah, if you guys want to meet me and mentor Shelly, we don't know the location yet, but you will have to go over to Erica Williams' channel,
Mhm.
get a ticket for her meetup. But I'll definitely be there. I know Mentor Shelly's going to be there. Um, and a few other people. If you're on my channel, I'm positive you run in those circles too. So there's definitely going to be some people that you guys are going to be able to meet if you come to that meetup. So, okay, Shell, is there any product or service that you have coming up that you want to share? I know we shared the YouTube channel and stuff, but did you tell us about everything that you
Um,
got?
right now, that is all. I do have some freebies coming up.
Okay.
But that's in a few weeks because I'm just ramping back up because I had some, some other stuff going on personally that had to kind of wrap up. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot going on. So,
Mhm.
okay, guys, but yes, please, 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 um, start to get in touch with the things that you really want in your life, and just remember the messages that you get, they're not a conference call. Everybody around you right now may not believe in the vision, but if it's been given to you and you feel it in the pit of your stomach, please take the necessary steps, okay? Even if it's watching me babble every Friday, I don't care. But get it done. Take the first step. Celine P, Samri Bliss still rocks. You're always there. Thank you so much. Carla J, Cherie coming through, everybody that contributed tonight. I appreciate you all so much. And here's to getting 100 viewers as we keep traversing these crazy YouTube streets, you guys. Thank Yeah, for sure, man. All right, so I'll probably be on either tomorrow, Sunday, something like that. I'll be on in the next day or two to find another topic to talk about, you guys. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you for being part of my Friday night. I'm honored to be a part of yours, and I will see you guys on the next live stream or video. You want to talk to me one-on-one? mycreditcall.com. I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Credit Solutionist out.